Welcome to the bigger play where the rubber meets the road and we get straight to it. So last night we had a real long, deep, good conversation about can you forgive someone for cheating? And I mean, when I say we went in, we really went in. It was a lot of different people came in the room, maybe 20 or 30, and we had a conversation about so many different things. As far as the conversation goes, as far as the chat, is no telling how many people was in there. There's a lot of different people that come on the platform, but they may not necessarily cam up or come to the stage to engage in the verbal conversation, the verbal jousting, you know? And this is a very important episode because of the level of camaraderie and also the level of pushback between women amongst themselves and men amongst themselves in the interaction of the two. It's just amazing to see. It's something to witness. And because it went for over 5 hours, I broke it up into 2 parts because it's difficult to try and render these things, but TikTok allowed the upload or the download, and in the process is being uploaded to the tube. So tune in, and we're not gonna hold you up. And without no further ado, we gotta speak on making it make sense. These things is important. It's something you want to pay attention to and have a perspective on, just in case somebody you know going through this or been through it, or just in case you need to know certain type of decisions that you might want to make. It's hot. It's heated. Make this make sense.
We are actually siblings, and we have Benjamin.
You guys have the
Same dad.
same father.
Yes.
How'd you guys find this out?
Like a family reunion.
Baby and gathering type of situation.
What was that like when you find out that you're brother and sister?
Scary. My pops had Vraye a few years before he had me.
Yes, I was the firstborn.
She was the firstborn, and yeah.
How'd that
And
feel?
then Dad just had a whole bunch of other kids.
And, you know, he was a rolling stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home type of situation.
How many kids does your dad have?
20.
Your dad has 20 kids.
20.
So
Including the one he just had.
Oh, no, like 21 now. Yeah.
She said it, I didn't.
My biggest flex is rejecting famous men, especially the athlete rapper kind. I'm so flattered that you think I'm pretty, want to sleep with me and have me be your toy for the next few months, maybe a year. I might get a Birkin out of it, maybe some jewelry, but that's it. Like I always say, I'd rather be valued, treasured, and respected by an average guy than be some famous rich man's toy. And I wish a lot of girls thought like this, but y'all don't. Y'all literally will compromise your self-worth and self-respect for a bag and some jewelry. I will never. Like, your youth is something that you cannot get back. Attention isn't the same as respect and value. Like I said, I'd rather build with a man who actually genuinely adores me than waste my youth and my time with some guy that just thinks I'm pretty.
Woo! She spoke facts. Hopefully, those of an intelligent mind and a certain perspective will pay attention and take that advice. Thank you, sister. And without no further ado, can you, forgive somebody for cheating? Talk to me. Can you forgive somebody for cheating on you?
I mean, I can forgive, but I'm not going to forget.
Okay, so does that mean if we together and we got a nice relationship, 4 years in, I've spent a significant amount of time, money, I've been dedicated, I've been respectful. Chicago love you too, Shikira. I've been honorable to you. You found out I was, well, not you found out. Let's paint a different narrative. I slipped the weekend for whatever reason I cheated. When you say you're gonna forgive me, but you're not gonna forget, is we gonna be together and can I fix it or you out?
Well, we're not going to be together.
We're not gonna be together?
No, we're not going to be together.
So even though I put all those years in
Mm-hmm.
and
No.
And all the good times that we had together, you
Yeah.
saying that you seen
I can quickly remake some good times with somebody else.
the way we did.
I can quickly remake good times, if not better, with somebody else. I'm good.
So you gonna be all your relationships been. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. You can speak. Go ahead. Adnan. Go ahead, bro.
I was just about to
And
say she cold with the
I would
detect.
expect the same from a man, right? If I was a woman as myself and I cheat on him, I'm not gonna expect him to stay with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gonna expect him to have the same respect for me, to value me the same, to see me the same. You know, I wouldn't expect that the other way around.
So what
So
level of forgiveness? What level of? Go ahead, brother. Go.
You got
What level of forgiveness would you be giving them at that point?
I'm accepting him for being a human and falling into temptation and realizing that he's human falling into temptation and allowing myself to be like, okay, yeah, you don't got it like that, or understand spiritually or whatever maybe, or even seeing it like that, right? Like, whatever maybe. You don't see me like that, whatever. But like, I'm not gonna allow that to be a partnership that we build, because I'm gonna be like, if I did that to him, I would expect him to leave me, right?
So
So
you resent him then?
no, there's no resentment. It's just you human, and you
Leaving him as
cannot.
a result of him cheating. You're not forgiving him.
No, I
You
can
saying
forgive
you
you.
forgiving? Come on,
I
come
can
on. Let's
forgive you.
come
I
on,
can forgive
come
you.
on.
I don't need to resent you. I can forgive you all day long, right?
like I
Like,
say,
that's
she
Come on, brother.
she right
that's
ideally.
not the issue. The forgiveness is the easy part. Me
She
being
right
able to.
ideally, like, but if we talking real, like realistically, like the host said, unless you just real cold and detachment like that, like if you real nice, it's like cutting somebody off like that, more power to you. But like that time usually make it hard. Like them years and them experiences and memories and stuff, they usually make it real hard to do. At least the first time it do.
Well, it's not that
But if
it's
you
not going
call
to be
like that though,
hard. It's not that it's not going to be hard, or there's not going to be trials and tribulations within my own head, my own brain, my own
Have
heart.
you ever been in love before?
Yeah, I'm not saying that there's not going to be trials and tribulations within my head and my heart that are going through that or within that, right? But like, for me, if I'm not ever going to step outside those boundaries, I'm going to give everything to you, then you got to do that back and forth with me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if we have this, we acknowledge each other as far as how we are in a partnership, and you step outside of that, then okay, it's okay. I'm going to find somebody who maybe possibly will acknowledge that and see it as real. Because here's the problem is that, like, I think there's a lot of good ass men out there that are not like that. And a lot of good ass dudes out there that are like that will be like very committed and real with their women and love their women and love and understand their discernment, their understanding. They love a good woman. They love a woman that respects herself, doesn't dress provocatively, doesn't bring things amongst herself. A woman that is there for her man, supports him, loves him, a woman that knows she's going to be a faithful girl, and vice versa, right? Like, with men, I think you guys know a lot of times the difference between a woman that's maybe more going to be like that and not going to be like that. But we are not going to act like we stupid, that when somebody step outside of it, that we don't understand that we could have somebody that is a good person, because there are so many good men out there, and
If
there's a
that was
lot
the
of good
truth,
women out
why
there.
so many women get cheated on and they allow it and they take the man back? If what you saying is true, that all these good men, why women picking the man that's cheating?
Because they're
If what
picking
you
them
saying is true, you using the words a lot. You said a lot.
because
So
either they're picking the men for the wrong reasons, or they nag too much. They're
Right,
just
right.
Hey,
making
I
it.
block Simps, man. I appreciate the cam up. No, come on, brother. I appreciate the cam up. Come on, speak.
I think the reason why
Okay.
women, can y'all hear me good?
Well, you kind of not good, but we hear you.
Well, I got some music in the background, but
I know.
the reason why I believe that women will take a man back because of how he's valued towards her, and women don't want a man that other women don't want. They just get that out there, man. You know, so she already knows. She know what she got. She know other women checking him out, because that's the same reason she picked him. You know, he got swag, he's handsome,
Well,
he
you
make
can say it with
money.
everybody then,
He make money. He got it going on.
I don't think he can.
And
I blocks. We
but
kind of
then you
we
can
having
say
a
that with
hard time.
everybody,
We having a hard time hearing you. I don't think you can hear us.
because everybody, every man
Can
or
you hear
woman,
us?
is gonna have somebody
I
out
don't think
there
you.
that
You
like
can hear
them.
us.
yeah, I can hear y'all good. I think it's just this. Hold on. Let me cut my headphones off. Hold on.
Okay. Hey, Vraye, you can speak while he get his while he get his headphones together. Hey, Miss Shikira. Oh, she jumped out.
Y'all hear me good now?
Huh?
Can y'all hear me good now?
Yeah, we hear you a little better. Yep.
I got you.
Hey, Play,
But
I'm good. How
what
are you?
what I was saying,
Okay.
women typically don't want a man that other women don't want. They 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 know the reason why they picked that guy, and they know other women gonna like her man just for the same reason she like him. He a provider. He's strong. He handsome. He know how to lead. He got it going on. He respected in the community. All women that are wanting a man are looking for a man like that. So she already know that she got a dude that's hot on the market. All she can do is hope that he don't cheat on her. And I think women will put up with it until she just can't, to where it just get plumb disrespectful. And I don't think a woman should put up with it. Me, can't. The prompt says,
And a lot of times,
the prompt the
and a lot
prompt.
of times, she is
I'm I'm
with
I'm
that
a,
man
I'm a land right here.
knowing.
Say the prompt says that can I forgive? I can, but will I? I'm not. I don't care if the world. She could be the finest woman, and she can have all the whatever, right? Not in this world, nor the world to come. I'm not gonna ever take a woman back that goes out to sleep with another man on me. Never.
That's what I just said.
Salute, brother. Appreciate you, man.
I
V-Ray, you
think
want to
though,
speak? We had lost you.
my
Go
bad.
ahead.
That's what I just said.
So can I say this?
Yeah, you
Can
can
I?
say whatever you want. Come on.
Hey, how y'all doing? Good
All right.
evening. Good evening to each and every one of you guys.
Good evening
So
to
to the
you.
topic, can you forgive?
Patty. What's up, Patty? I'm sorry.
What's up,
Hey,
man? I
Patty.
appreciate you, man.
Good to see you, man.
How you doing?
Stay with us for a little minute. I know you're moving around, but tap in with us for a little minute.
I appreciate you. I'm sorry for interrupting you, Ray. Go ahead. Sorry.
No
Yeah,
problem.
me
No
too. I'm
problem
sorry.
at all.
Okay, V-Ray, go ahead.
So can I forgive someone for cheating? Definitely can forgive someone for cheating.
Talk to us about it, sister. Tell us about
Like
it.
I definitely that's a like okay, I will go through my motions as
I
any
like
human will
her.
go through and everything. But I'm gonna definitely forgive him for cheating. But
Thank you so
I
much.
think this is a huge misconception, right? And this is what I want. This is a caveat to it. I'm gonna forgive you. That's in my heart. That's in my nature. That's in my makeup.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You throw a monkey wrench in there.
I have to forgive you. But forgiveness doesn't mean that you get access to me. You
Oh,
know,
no.
again. So in other words, I can forgive you for the action or whatever, and I wholeheartedly will forgive you. I'm not saying that I can't allow a person to gain access, but forgiveness, and I think we have to break this down, right? forgiveness doesn't always, I'm gonna emphasize always, forgiveness doesn't always mean to allow that person to gain access back to you. You can forgive this person and respectfully move on in your journey of your lives, and you guys go your separate ways. You know what I'm saying? I don't believe in holding bitterness in my heart for anything, because I understand that eats at you from the inside out. It's like a cancerous type thing. It doesn't affect that person. It affects me more. So I do believe in the art of forgiveness. But forgiveness doesn't always, keyword, always mean re-access to my life. I can forgive you and we can respectfully move on, if that makes sense.
All right. Fatty, can you come in and give some response to that? Because I'm going to be quiet for
Absolutely. So, you know that meme when they say, oh, you got me on the first half, not going to lie. I thought she was saying that she actually forgave and she was okay with the man cheating. For what I understand, she will forgive you, but you are going to get the consequences for cheating. And that's what we're talking about. Can you forgive someone for cheating? Are you okay with deal with a person with no consequences? And she sounds like she's going to get her league back. I might be wrong, but that's what most women do. If I get caught cheating, I'm not staying on that relationship because I know what's going to happen afterwards. So I'm bouncing.
Can we really say?
If you're a player, you already know what it is.
Go ahead.
So that's not forgiveness.
Go ahead, sister.
I mean,
if you're going to retaliate,
naive women forgive cheating, and I think men know who to try. Naive women will forgive cheating. I think I was in another live earlier where somebody was like emotional cheating and physical cheating. One man was like,
we lost your sister. Go ahead.
Physical cheating is not as bad as, the guy was like, physical cheating is not as bad as emotional cheating, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, if you can physically cheat and tell me it doesn't mean anything, you can unalive me.
Oh, what? There you go.
Can you guys hear me? I think, oh my gosh.
There you go with that bullshit, bro.
Wait, hold on. We had this conversation the other day, year ago, and we didn't.
I cannot lie because I want some cool shit. That's crazy, man.
Hold on, Miss Gold. I want to say that we had this conversation the other day, and it didn't. No one said that, and there was a lot of people there. So why would you go there? Can you correlate that for me?
No. This wasn't on your panel. I said I was on another panel earlier.
These people are so hyperbolic. It's just incredible,
can you
man.
give me some insight? I want to hear you out, sis.
Why does cheating has to do with alive?
Okay, so this other panel that I was in, the guy said,
"Hold on, man. We sorry. We don't want to cut you off. Go ahead, man."
This panel that I was on, the guy was trying to make a case. The prompt was, is emotional cheating and physical cheating the same? Obviously, I know it's the same thing. Emotional or physical cheating is cheating. You're not going to play me like that. I already know what it is. Because obviously they're going to spin it around. But the guy was trying to spin it around and say, well, physical cheating is not as bad as emotional cheating. Because for a man, physical cheating, she don't mean nothing. But like a woman, they will emotional cheat. And that tends to be women. And I was like, that's how they're going to play your ass. Because they're going to switch it and make it gender-based. But all I'm trying to say is you never forgive cheating. Cheating is intentional. They don't like you. I don't understand what else could let you know somebody don't like you than cheating. And this is not no Cinderella. We're grown. We're in our 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. You're not a dummy. You weren't born yesterday. Like, you're not going to accidentally put your hand on a stove. Like, you know what you're doing. If you cheat, you don't like me. Like, you should. But again, women tend to forgive cheating. A naive woman will forgive cheating because she I'm a woman. I understand a lot of these women want men more than men even want women. So a lot of women are ready to forgive cheating. That's why women forgive cheating, men don't. Because a lot of women don't really even know what's happening. A lot of women don't understand the game.
Oh, universe laugh. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Miss Go.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
Have
like,
you
a
ever
lot of
cheated?
women really don't understand the game that you're being played. That's why they forgive cheating. And cheating is you don't forgive that. That's it.
Okay,
Miss
so
Gold,
let
have you ever
me
The young
cheated?
say
man
this.
trying to ask you a question. Somebody was
Yes.
speaking. Go ahead.
Did you ever cheated before?
Cheated.
Somebody
You
said.
never, not even emotionally. You never, not
Hey,
even emotionally.
you mind if I
No,
speak?
I've never done that before. Never.
Okay.
You mind if I speak?
I mean, whatever is gonna make me go sleep with another man, we're done. So
Well,
we're
you
not together
no,
anymore. Like,
he
the
asked you
fucks?
about emotion. He asked you about have you ever emotionally cheated?
No, I don't like if I'm with somebody, I don't like other men. Even my male friends know I don't talk to them when I'm with somebody else. But
So,
obviously now I'm learning. I think I used to just do that. I used to stop talking to my male friends because like patriarchy is like, oh my gosh, you're not supposed to entertain other men. But I feel like obviously I can handle relationship with my male friends a lot more better. But I think
let,
what made me like that was just because I'm Nigerian. When you start dating a man, everybody know. Or for me, I was just raised, oh, you stop talking to other guys. Like you, even if they're your friends, you give a distance. That's
last
just because
question
I'm
before
Nigerian.
Tux go, right?
But I
Yeah, I
can
promise. Last
still,
question.
but now I can still keep my male friendship, even if I'm in a relationship. I do have boundaries and stuff, but obviously I don't keep male friends that cross my boundaries either like that, that make it blurry.
So,
Hey, Play,
my last
can I
question is
speak
this
real
before
quick?
Tux go. Tux, I promise it's like 3 seconds,
Let's
right?
let Fatty speak, and then that was Tux
Yeah,
new. We had
Tux. Yeah,
Tux,
yeah.
and then
I'm
we
sorry,
go to
Tux.
you. Eden, go ahead,
So,
Fatty.
this is my definition of cheating. You are doing something that you would never would do in front of your boyfriend or your husband. Do you agree with that, Miss Gold? Doing something
You
that you
think,
would never do in front of
do
your
you
husband or
really
boyfriend.
think I was born yesterday and you want to spin it around on me like that? Do you really
Answer
think
the
I was
question.
born yesterday? Do you know how old I am? You want to trick me with wordplay like
Can you
that?
answer the question?
Everybody knows
Can you
what
answer
we're
the question?
talking about on this stage, right? We know what cheating is. It's not just doing something you wouldn't do in front of your partner, like
So what is your
maybe fucking
definition?
farting. So if I farted, I
No,
wouldn't.
oh
I
my
would. So
God,
would
no.
that be
Basically
considered
said she
cheating?
agree
Because
with you,
that's something I
Fatty.
Hey,
wouldn't do. I
can I
wouldn't do in front
speak?
of my
Can I
partner. So
speak?
now I'm
No.
farting.
Okay,
Please
let's let the brother Tux
find
speak.
another woman to play with, not
Hold
me.
on, hold on.
Go
One
ahead,
sec.
let's go, Tux. Come on.
Hey, Play, man. Salute. It's always a pleasure to be here, man. You know what I'm saying, gangster? Yeah, let me borrow that scarf too when you're done with it.
Anytime you get
I'm gonna keep it brief. I'm at the airport, so I'm gonna keep it real brief, straight to the point. We need to find out a solution, right? Everybody wants to be right, and I don't think it's not being I'm Nigerian as well. I was born in Nigeria, so I don't think it's Nigerian, American, Asian, whatever. You have to have a self-respect for yourself. Cheating is something that's selfish, right? That means you take a disregard for somebody else and you want to do your thing. Two, I think there's emotional cheating. For me, in my opinion, emotional cheating is just as bad, maybe more than physical cheating. Right? You can sleep with somebody on the first night and have no emotional connection. You could be alcohol related, right? But I think when people emotionally cheat, that means you're giving play, you're giving interest to somebody that's saved for somebody else, right? Emotional cheating is a deeper connect than physical. We've all here either know or have been or heard about somebody sleeping with somebody on the first night and they never saw that person again, right? And then for me, right, physical cheating, I think is more directed towards the men. Men don't emotionally cheat. Women are more likely emotional cheat than men. Um, and for me, I've been cheated on before. I have to forgive you. But when a person cheats on you, is how they feel about you. When you forgive them, is how you feel about yourself. Right? Just because I forgive Just just because I forgave you does not mean I have to deal with you or see you again. I will not allow somebody to control my heart, my peace, my sanity by holding grudges, right? I'm 42 years old, right? The average male, black male expectancy of life is about maybe 65 to 75, right? So I have more years behind me than in front of me. I don't have time to give somebody power over my life. Now, would I entertain you again? No. Do I learn from my mistakes? Absolutely, right?
But I think we get to this place where people are just mad at somebody else and they choose to hold anger towards them. You miss your blessing, you miss your growth. So will I forgive somebody who cheated? Absolutely. But would I have you in my life and let you into that safe space? No. Would I high five you in public? Definitely. But that's how you feel about yourself, right? When you cheat on me, like I said, is how you cheat, how you feel about me and yourself. And me forgiving you is how I feel about myself. But hey, man, thank you for letting me speak, man. I didn't want to come on here. You know, you've been in my rooms. I'm big on solutions, man. I got a flight to catch. It's all love, gangster.
Thank you, man, and have a safe flight, man. And we'll talk to you soon. Appreciate you, brother.
I'm at
Thank you for that
100%
insight.
agreement of Tux. 100% agreement of Tux. Forgiveness.
Still the same thing.
Forgiveness.
Don't
Hold on.
forgive.
Like for instance, like how can you tell someone they should never forgive? Like it's all about your heart set up, and to each his own, right? But I don't choose to hold that bitterness in my heart. No, it's not finna eat at me from the inside out, because guess what? It doesn't hurt that person. 9 times out of 10, that person have moved on with their life, and here you are holding resentment and bitterness in your heart, and it's spilling over into your life, and it's really affecting your life. It's not affecting that person who cheated on you, who the blame should go to. That's why I understand forgiveness is imperative. It's imperative, in my opinion, because it releases like that control of that person's that the experience that I've had with that person. And I don't want to project that or to bring that into anything new that that I may, want to explore. If you are sitting here holding unforgiveness in your core, in your being, I promise you, it's not going to do you well. It's not going to do you well. That doesn't mean that you give that person accessibility to you anymore. That is simply meaning that you have made peace and you have closed that chapter and you're willing to move on with your life. Point blank, period.
Okay, we want to let you.
People treated cheating like Marleys. When I said don't forgive cheating, it's just simply like we're breaking up. This relationship is over. I see you at Walmart. Don't even say hi. Don't even say hello. Keep it pushing. You call my phone. Maybe you will get a restraining order if you call like 5 or 6 times or you show up at my doorstep. Yeah, that's what I mean by. But yeah, obviously, like don't take malice around getting another relationship and stuff like that. But when I mean don't forgive means like the relationship is dead. We're not forgiving that. That's what I'm talking about. So, but
Y'all
I guess we're all
forget,
saying the
y'all
same
forget
thing.
men. Y'all forgive men all the time. If you know you can upgrade him and you are missing a massive deal, you are not leaving that man. You might be resentful, you might deny him smacks, but if that man is a winner, like a winner, you're not going nowhere. You're doing good, Cardi B. You're crying 7 times. He's going to cheat 7 times on you before you leave that man. Most women are not leaving winners.
And you have a point. I'm not even going to
Hold on,
argue
can I
with you
say
on
this?
that. You do have a point.
Hold on, can I say this? When a woman knows who she is at her core being, this is like apart from anybody else, and she's done the self work, and she's done the healing, and she's done the unpacking. She doesn't gravitate to unhealthy attachment styles. So it's no, I disagree. It doesn't matter or however that man treats her. She's gonna just remain in the unhealthy environment.
You know how
If
wrong
she
you are, T.
hold on. If she values her work, because we're not in ancient of times where, because there are women that are very successful and in their own right. She doesn't, she's not having to depend financially or anything. She's holding, and this is not something to like glory in, because I think everyone, it's not good for, in my opinion, one woman to be alone, but you have to meet your person. But I don't agree with just connecting yourself with anyone just to say you have someone, just to be in an unhealthy attachment style. So when you say a man can do what he wants to a woman that knows her self-worth and have done the work, you are hugely mistaken, because that's
So
not
I can
the
prove it.
Yeah, we
I
want
can
to
prove it to
fast
you.
respond.
But Cardi B would be a woman who is self-sufficient. Yes, she was. I think as a woman, right? Sometimes, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you loud
I
and
think
clear.
sometimes as women, we want to use the anomaly or the few to just like justify the majority. That's why I said I wasn't gonna argue with him because honestly, I know I see with my friends, and sometimes with these men, sometimes you got to be like, well, he's a doctor, he's a fucking captain in the
Yes,
military,
ma'am.
and I'm
Yes,
like,
ma'am.
I'm gonna just give him one more chance because he's, that's what he's trying to talk about. Like once if there's a guy that is like not easily replaceable, like you don't come like, do you understand what I'm saying? So sometimes as a woman, you might just stay, like you might just give him a second chance, is what you're saying. But I also see
Even
your point, Ray, where you're like, if a woman knows her worth, but a lot of women don't operate like that. A lot of women are not cutthroat. I only know one woman who's cutthroat like that, and that's my mother. And I don't even match up to my mother. And my mother, she's cutthroat like that.
See,
okay,
She
a
so
lot of a lot of Nigerian a lot of a
We
lot of
gonna let
Nigerian
Fatty
men.
respond. We gonna
Oh,
let
I'm
Fatty
sorry.
respond, and then we gonna allow Miss Universe to speak because she haven't had a chance to speak yet.
I just wanted to say this because I can prove it, right? It's not just about cheating. Women don't leave relationships without the replacement being lined up. That's how bad it is. Women use relationships like jobs. You never leave your job just to be unemployed. You already have the next job lined up. So even if in relationships, y'all will literally wait for the next guy and kind of line it up so you don't be barefoot and you go from one man to the other, but you never would admit that. You will do the same thing with relationships. If you have no place to go, you are going to bid your time, you are going to resent, you're going to cheat on him back, you are going to deny him schmacks, you're going to make his life miserable until you get somebody that can actually get the spot. And Cardi B is a good example because look at what happened to her. She didn't leave until she got a suitable replacement, the offset of the NFL that is the same womanizer, has the same modus operandi, because she wanted to make the other guy bleed just like
That's
like
not
D made her
true. Hold
bleed.
on,
So
that's not
my
true.
point is simple.
Hold on,
All
hold on.
women.
We don't
You
want to.
can't do that.
Let's let Miss
That's
Universe.
crazy.
Let's let Miss Universe chime in on the topic, and then Enam. Then we'll come back. Go ahead, sister.
Let me get in there, play
Um,
when you get a chance.
Got you. I
can
got you.
can you forgive someone for cheating? I feel like, you know, these women that say they can't forgive a man for cheating, um, in my opinion, they're the most promiscuous women on the planet because I personally don't want to go around hopping on cock to cock. I don't. So, if he cheated on me, we need to talk about it. We need to work some things out, and I need to work on myself, and I need to figure out why are you doing what you're doing. And then if it's not salvageable, then I may have to go on, about my business. But I'm not just gonna rush to one and done, or you cheated. Like I'm not for polygamy or any of that stuff, and I'm for a healthy relationship and all of that stuff. But it's just so funny how women are like, oh, he cheat, I'm done. It's just like, so you want that many penises in your vagina like that?
Thank you.
It's just disgusting to me. It's like, okay, you leave him, you go to another guy, he do you the same way. Oh, we're done. You leave him, you go to another guy, and now you just ran through. And
Ma'am, so
you can be. Did I cut you off? I let you come up here and babble on
no,
like
I'm
crazy.
sorry.
I
No, I
never
cut
cut
you. No,
nobody off.
my apologies. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I haven't cut nobody off.
Why would you
So
talk to her like that?
first of all, why are you even speaking on cheating when Nigerians are allowed to have multiple wives? So I'll come back to you. I'm just going to land my plane and go back
You
on
are a
mute.
pick me.
No,
You know
no, it's
that.
no,
These
it's
men
no
are
picking me
laughing
to
at
you.
you.
No,
They're
no,
not
it's no.
laughing
I
with
don't care
you.
when someone laugh
They're
at me.
laughing at you. They're not laughing
Listen,
with you,
you know what?
sis.
You
Hey,
saying I'm
Trust
a
no,
pick
me.
no,
me?
no.
You
No, I'm not.
Nigerian.
Man, y'all
You,
Fight,
you,
stop.
your man.
Fight
All you
back.
do
Y'all
is go in
found a
there and
suitable
try to
man.
oh,
She
fix
acting
Fight
like
rice.
a man
back.
oh,
right
hey,
here.
hey,
I'm
let's cut
done. Go
out.
fix
Hold
your
on, hold on.
rice. Go
Let's
fix
cut
your
all this
rice.
out. Please,
You
please,
are a pick me. You're a
please,
prey. These men don't like you like
Yon,
that.
no,
They
no, no,
already
no,
know
Hold
you're
no,
a
on,
Yon,
hold
prey.
be
on, hold
quiet.
on 1 second. It's
Let
okay,
Miss Universe
Miss
finish.
Gold. It's
Allow
what I
Miss
like is
Universe to
it's
finish.
okay to hold on, brother. I want to let you know that it's okay for you to have a certain perspective and the young lady at the top, so we can just be able to have a conversation. It's okay to listen, even if you feel a certain way.
The devil's advocate. I
No,
got you. I'm not
you would
trying to
skip
ruin
me.
your
You would skip
stage.
me.
It's
They skip
okay.
over you to pick me. They skip over you to pick me. That's what
Girl,
you were. You would
bye.
skip me.
It's okay,
So
girl.
you're just
I'm
mad
not even
because
gonna argue with you,
listen.
universe. It's okay. It's
You
your
don't
Why
world.
like
can't you let
no.
Oh
her
my
My
finish?
gosh.
whole thing is
I
you have
hope
a
you
ran
find
through
peace,
vagina.
darling.
You have a ran through vagina with a whole bunch of miles, and you're mad at me because I called it out.
Patty, where you,
It's
Patty,
ran
Okay.
through.
where you
It's
go,
ran
Okay.
Patty?
through like the fufu you eat. It's ran through.
That says more about you than me, actually, in case you don't know.
I'm married. I'm married.
Why
Girl,
can't you let
trust
her finish?
me, it says
We
more
don't have
about
to. We don't
you
have to.
than me.
We don't
So
have to
I'm
go
not
back
You
and
know
offended.
what?
forth. We
I'm
Trust
can
done,
me.
just.
host. I'm done. I said what I
Not
said. They
the
so
fufu.
disrespectful. I'm
I
gonna
appreciate.
drop because they so disrespectful.
You don't make
Damn,
your
she said
You
husband
know
the
look
what?
good.
Just get
fufu.
out of my
You
country.
make
Hey,
That's why
guys,
Trump's gonna
you
make
make
sure you
your
please,
get out.
husband
Get
look
please,
out of
pretty
Trump's
my
gonna make sure
country,
you
nasty.
get out. Trump's
guys,
gonna make sure
You
you
we
get out.
represent yourself, your
Trump's gonna make
household
sure
please,
you get out.
nastily.
And you do
please.
You're
too. Look at you.
Get
Why
out
can't
What
of
you?
you
my
represent?
a
You
Hold on,
nasty
hold
represent
on.
nothing.
asshole. I'm
Why can't
sure.
we be grown, guys? Why
I'm
can't we
very
be
Yeah,
grown?
sure.
we just.
They
We
You're
Why
not
just
just
an
trying
can't?
to have a
I've been
asshole.
quiet
Why
the whole
can't?
time. They
I
cut
know
me
you. I know
off.
yeah.
you.
I've
I
been
know you.
quiet the
I know
whole
universe.
time.
I know universe. You
Your
let
wife?
you are that. Why you? Why do you? Why
Big
can't you
rock
let?
on my finger.
Why can't
Huge.
you hear the woman out? Why can't you just
This is
listen to the woman
dumpster.
speak?
You're dumpster.
Why no you? Why can't you let the woman finish speaking? Why do you have to interject and cut her
No,
off?
no, no.
Why?
All I said was, why did she
Why?
shut
Why? No,
Ray
the
down
question
like
is why do
that?
you
She
cut her
just
off?
was rude to the
No,
chick for
no,
no
the question,
reason.
no, the
She's
question
a
is why
pick me,
you,
but you know what? I'm not gonna.
no. Why do you cut her off? Why? Why can't you be grown? Why can't you be grown and allow the woman to speak and get her piece out? Why do you interject? Why do you interrupt?
Use
Why?
this opportunity to take your
No, no,
frustration
no,
out on
no.
me.
I'm not taking no
No need,
frustration.
like other
It's
men. You
called
see
being
how other
grown.
men are staying out of women's battle?
Being
Chill,
grown. It's called being
chill,
grown.
chill.
You
Be a
chill.
man and just let it
You
go so she
chill.
can move on and I can move
Why
on.
why can't
Don't
you
need to
why
get
can't
your
you hear
little
other
rocks
grown ups
off
up?
and
Why
find,
can't
you
you
just
hear
want to
other grown ups
argue.
She
out?
left.
You just want to argue,
Hold
Why
on. She
can't
darling.
you hear
left.
other
Why you
grown ups
leave,
out?
sister?
Why can't
Hold
you hear
on. We
other
got
grown ups out? We're all grown here.
you. She didn't interrupt anybody. Jay Hush, you haven't spoken. I want to let you speak, and then Ednom been trying to get back in, and then after that block, I'll let you in. Come on, Jay Hush.
Hey, I've been waiting too. I have not
All
interrupted
right,
anyone.
I know you
hello
be
everybody. Hello
after Jay
everybody.
Hush, Miss Shakira. You can speak. Go ahead, Jay Hush.
I'll go ahead and let the lady go ahead and go first.
Thank you,
That's
brother.
fine.
Go ahead, sister. Then you after her, you speak, Jay Hush.
Yeah. Thank you.
Go ahead, Miss Shakira.
I just wanted to say, everyone has a a oh man a shit. I done forgot the
That's
everyone
crazy.
everyone has their own what is it their
Perspective, different opinions. I got you. We
yes
got
A
you. We know what you're
preference
trying
and
to say.
perspective.
yes so every you don't to me I don't know if cheating is my end of my relationship. That's not the word I was looking for, but it's the same thing. Is the end of the relationship because I think that everything deserves is up for a conversation. We need to talk about why what made you do it, and was it something lacking on my part? And no, it doesn't have to be nothing lacking on someone else's part. It's just because if you're gonna cheat, you're gonna cheat no matter what. Your wife can be good, your husband can be good, but if you see something else, I'm not being funny. We're out, we're married, we're not blind, and that's my perspective. I land the plane. I'm gonna let everybody else have at it, but I'm gonna go on and drop so someone else in the bottom can come in.
Nice seeing you, sister.
Ernie's in that mind.
Yes, Jay
Yeah.
Huss. It's on Jay Huss. It's on Jay Huss. Go ahead,
All right.
brother.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you for your time. Thank you for having me up. So the topic is can you forgive someone for cheating? So when you're in a
Miss
relationship,
Universe, you can come back, Miss Universe, if you want to. Sometimes it'll get off the rails, but we appreciate if you come back. Go ahead, brother. My bad.
Now you breathe in. So I believe that, the topic is, can you forgive somebody for cheating? And we know what cheating is, you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, it's what comes after the cheating. So let's say I'm gonna put an example, and I'm gonna speak, not saying that I'm a cheater, but let's just say me and my so-called wife, I ended up cheating on her. I gotta accept as a man what I did wrong, take accountability, but also recognize what comes with the damage that I created, the trust that I broke,
30 years and we
the
got
hurt
millions of
that came with it. So now I have to reassure my wife, and we have this conversation of, you know what? Yeah, I did make a mistake. And if this is something you're willing to work with, I know that on my behalf, there's going to be some trust issues that I have to, I have to work forward to. And whether it be my phone notification that come on, I know that in her mind something gonna come up. Is that the same girl that he was messing with, or is it just a simple notification? So it's giving that reassurance, and you got to understand what comes with the fact of after you cheat on somebody, you got to accept of what the damage created, what was created on the damage on the partner. So now you have your partner, which I'll say, my so-called wife will say, and she's feeling all types of different emotions. She don't know how to, forgive me. And at the same time, it's a two-way street. So not only did I make the mistake, but the damage that came with it, now she's going through it. So now I have to continuously reassure, and it's not about when are you going to forgive me? It's, are you willing to do so? Take that accountability, because through sickness and through health, through the good and through the bad, it's not always going to be a rainbow and sunshine. When you're in a relationship, there ain't no such thing as a perfect relationship, correct? So when we cheat and we make that mistake, it's the same thing. It's just like any other sin. But you have to take accountability of what's coming with it after you've made that mistake. I get it. Things happen. People in relationship, you see this all the time. People will make a mistake and people will cheat, but it gets to the point where you can't go back and be like, what led up to this? Because in the heat of the moment, you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, is if the topic is, can you forgive someone? Well, that's on both parties. If both parties are willing to work together and say, you know what, this was an honest, true mistake, and I didn't learn from it, and this is something I don't want, because now I'm realizing the damage I created to my partner, my spouse, my wife, and now I have to go through what's called a reassurance and reassure her that this is not going to happen again. So I have to, whether if it takes a year, whether if it takes 5 years, at the end of the day, I made that mistake. So I got to take accountability for what came with it. So it's at the end of the day, it's if you're willing to sit down and say, you know what, this is an honest mistake, we could both agree. My job is I gotta now earn your trust back. I gotta reassure you in the sense of anytime that you feel some type of way, anytime that you feel that little light bulb hits on and you're thinking that, oh, is he out there cheating? You know what? Hey, here's my location, here's who I'm with. If I need to FaceTime you, I put myself in that position.
Would you stay if you were cheated on?
No, I'm saying if I were to be the one that did the cheating, you
No. You said all these things, right?
Right.
Does this apply to your woman?
It's the same thing. It's a two-way street. So if it's woman or man, it takes two to tango. It takes two to agree upon this. So it doesn't matter if it's Mexican, if it's black, if it's Nigerian.
No, it's fine.
You know what I mean?
So if your woman cheats on you and she comes to you and she humbly, 1 second, Yoruba, 1 second. If your woman cheats on you and she comes to you humbly and she says, it was a mistake, I'll give you access to my iPad and all those things, and I humbly repent, would you stay?
The part where you said where she came to me humbly.
Yes.
That part. That's the sign of saying, you know what, she's taking accountability for what she did wrong. Mm-hmm. Humbly. Now, if you coming to me and you coming in a different form or of gaslighting and saying, you know what, it was a mistake, just get over it, that's a whole nother story. But you said specifically, if she said humbly, that's her taking accountability and say, you know what, hey, I really done messed up. So it's again, that's my decision, whether if I'm going to stick around or if I'm going to sit here and say, you know what, I can't do this, I got to dip out. But at the end of the day,
still your decision.
It takes. Hold on.
So you will stay.
Yes, it's a two-way street, whether woman or man.
He ain't staying.
Okay.
This man's not staying. He's not staying.
Yes, he
Hold
is.
on,
He said he's
hold
staying.
on. He's what he's saying.
We appreciate your input. We want to let Etnom, and then we want to let the brothers that came in the room and didn't speak. Go ahead, brother.
I halfway agree with the bottom of me. Uh, like you said, if I so happen to choose to stay with that woman because she cheated on me, then it's just a choice made, and it's up to me to.
You in the matrix. You in the matrix. You in the matrix, bro. We can't hear you.
Allow her.
You in the matrix, bro. We
Break it.
gonna let Stack speak,
Like
and
you
then we
said,
gonna come back to you, young brother.
Oh, this is
I
an
just allow
interesting
her
one.
to.
Go ahead, Stack. We can't hear you, young brother.
So this is real interesting, right? So one time in my earlier relationship days, my ego was like, "What? If a woman ever cheat on me, this is a rap." Da da da. I used to be talking all this ego, cocky stuff until it happened to me one time, and I loved the shit out of this woman, and I stayed, bro. And I ain't gonna tell you no lie, bro. Brothers will talk this good stuff until it really happens to you, right?
Right.
So when you love a woman, man, some people can't bear it, but it depends on how you love a woman. And like that brother said, like she came to me humbly, and I knew she made a mistake, and I knew the circumstances behind cheating. She cheated because I started messing with her while she was on a break from her ex. So she
cheated on her ex.
No. Let me explain. So I met her and I started dealing with her when she and her ex was on break, like 3 months, right? And I got her in between the time they was on break, right? He never got an opportunity to, you know how dudes try to make their way back and apologize for whatever they did wrong? He never had that opportunity. So he confused her when, you know, dudes be knowing when a girl move on and start dealing with somebody else, they start backtracking and trying to get back with her. So he made that effort, and when she cheated, she went back to him. I was devastated. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, damn, you hurt me. I couldn't even sleep at night. My stomach was hurting type of shit. I never had that feeling before. Like I had my guts hurting. And I kept thinking about a nigga pounding my girl and all that. I was like, damn, this hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like, this really hurt. But I wanted to leave, but I couldn't because I still love this woman. And my ego, I didn't care. I didn't care what a nigga thought. Like, I really didn't care if a nigga like you simping or whatever. I was like, nah, I love this girl, man. So that's how I knew that for me personally, I ain't gonna say every other man or whatever. I'm just gonna put it on me and be vulnerable. Yeah, I stayed with her and I went back because I loved her. And then my ego was involved to a point where he was gonna go back to him and he was gonna have my girl.
Where did she? Where did she?
Let me get in here.
Go ahead, I Block Simpson. Then we're gonna let Shot
Bruh.
speak, and then Coco, and then we go to Vraye and Fatty. Go ahead, brother.
First of all, I I don't even know why we use the terminology, the term cheating. You cheat on a test, you cheat on exam, you cheat on a race. Right? You're racing you take a shortcut, you cheating. You didn't stay on the path, right? On the agreed thing. So you that's cheating. But when it comes to a relationship, that is an establishment of an agreement that you have. And if someone breaks the boundaries of the agreement, then that's what we're actually doing. I don't know why we use cheating. I never, I'm analytical like that. So when it comes to cheating, if a woman cheats on me and you go out there and I know what I do to you. I know how I have you bent up like a pretzel. I know how I have your feet upside down on the headboard. And you to me tell me I gotta think about some other dude doing you that way. Hell, ain't no damn way I'm taking that back. No, no, no. I'll forgive you. In general, in humanity and in all decency, yes, I'll forgive you and move on. But that don't mean you're redeemed of the relationship that we once had. No, And same goes for women. It's all in the person's preference. If this person is valuable to you, and you see that they're genuine, if they convince you that they're genuinely apologetic, but man, that when you cross that boundary with me, you can be genuine all you want. You can mean it, but you're never gonna get me back. No, I'm not doing it.
Happened to you though?
Not that I know of. And so, and I'll tell you right now, if it happens, I'm out because it's over. Once a woman's body and makeup is meant to connect to the man that she lets inside her. And you mean to tell me you've been me inside you, and then you gonna let another dude inside you? Now you done divided the loyalty, and
I was talking the same way until it happened to me.
well, I mean, bro,
She just had
hold
a
on a
good
minute,
cat for that
hold on a
period
minute,
until
hold
you
on a
found
minute,
another cat.
hold
How
on a
did you
minute.
guys break
Hold
up?
on, will you be quiet? So the thing is,
Be quiet now. I'm
if
not your
I'm
wife
telling
now.
you
I'm
to be
not your mother
quiet,
or your sister
I'm telling
now.
you to be quiet as a grown
No,
person
no,
having
no.
a
Don't talk to
grown
me like
relationship.
that. I
Will
don't
you
know who the
please
fuck you
be
think you're
quiet?
talking to. I don't know who made you a man, but I'm
Hold on, y'all. We're gonna
Who mute my
let
mic?
Shock speak.
not a man.
Who
Not
mutes
Gonna
my
let
today.
mic?
we're gonna let Shock speak.
Who mutes
We're
my
gonna
mic?
let Shock speak. Go ahead, Shock.
Can you forgive someone for cheating? Yeah, but guess what? I'm gonna tell you, it's guerrilla warfare on that point. It's chess. Game on. Since you want to premeditate and actually hurt me and everything else, I'm gonna show you better. I can tell you. Um, During the time when I was actually had my dealings with the women that I was dealing with, I trusted them until when the body behavior and the body language just started to change. So for me to react and like being overreacting, cussing and screaming and yelling or whatever, I'm like, nah, it ain't even worth me trying to like explain or even try to get down to the nitty gritty. I'm not doing that. I'm gonna show you because when you take upon yourself to try to treat somebody messed up and act like okay, yeah, that person you may try to get over on that individual and then think that that person's not watching you and seeing how you observe and everything else. I got something for your ass because the next man ain't gonna do that. So I ain't gonna be too nice.
That
I'm
don't
just
even
saying
make sense, bro. That's more drama.
it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. One thing
And
about it, one thing about it, a lot of guys allow a lot of things to happen. I see it happen too many times. Men are sitting up here being soft and sitting up here allowing certain things because of the fact of that, oh, that they let those things, those behaviors occur. Call me what you want and everything else, but why she
So
allow what why do you feel like she it's okay for her to do that?
nobody
If she
says
claims
okay.
no
What
no
if
no
it's
I'm not
reversed though?
no
What's the
no no
reverse thing?
no I'm just saying in journalistic speaking, when you hear too many times when guys get backdoored and this woman turns around and she gets away scot free. I hear it too many times. Guys get set up, guys get backdoored, guys get deceived and everything. They don't even know that the woman might be sitting here sleeping with the man that's next door to you or across the street or the next block over. It's too many situations that be conspiring and happening to that. Because
But
a
what
lot of
about
men
the
ignore it.
reverse though? What about the reverse when the
Can
man
I,
cheat on the
yeah,
woman?
can I say this, right? I'm not going to negate that women don't snake men. Some piss poor women snake men, right? It's a fact, right? But we're not going to negate the fact that women are more tolerable to infidelity than men are. You know, men when if they find out infidelity or cheating, they're like 9 times out of 10 they ain't going for it. They out the door. Women are more tolerable and they more so accept or to work through it more than men have the capability to. And if we're going to call a spade, let's just be real with that. Let's just be transparent.
And
Okay.
I don't understand this whole shock talking about,
or she could be sleeping with another guy down the street.
Hold on, Miss Gold. We're gonna let Coco go. She haven't spoke. Then back to Fatty. Then Miss Gold, you can go back to shot. Go ahead, Miss Coco Butter.
Hi, everybody.
We're gonna try to give everybody a chance to speak so we can get in. And then Miss Universe, I'll bring you back in 2 seconds. Go ahead, sister.
Can you forgive someone for cheating? Absolutely. You can forgive them, but I would not suggest to stay. The same effort that a person put into committing infidelity is the same energy they could have put into whatever the problem was that led them astray in the first place, whether it be emotionally or sexually. It's still an unexcusable disrespect. I think that you should forgive a person immediately because we human beings, we make mistakes, but I wouldn't stay to tolerate it. I don't need to know when, why, how, where, what, none of that because you have that opportunity.
Have you ever stayed and tolerated it?
No.
You sure?
I'm sure, and I have been cheated on. Yeah.
Hold on. Are you sure?
I'm sure.
So you knew for a fact nobody you dealt with was cheating?
No. I said I have been cheated on.
No, I said, did you stay and tolerate it?
No.
But I asked you, did you know for a fact that everybody you dealt with was cheating?
No, not everybody that I dealt with was cheating. Not
No,
everybody.
I'm asking you, do you know for a fact that the people you were dealing with were cheating?
Oh yeah, for sure.
No.
For sure.
I'm saying, do you think it's a possibility that you didn't know? You don't think that's possible?
No, she called me.
No, that's okay. All right.
But
Okay.
I'm trying to make
got
a point.
the answer we needed. No need to press it further.
Sometimes you just don't know and you tolerating it. You just don't know you tolerating it. But some of us are perfect and we just know everything. So
You don't know what you don't know, though. You know.
If I don't exactly, how can I know?
I was being funny. Fatty, you back or you took off? Okay.
So
Miss Yorba, go ahead, and then we'll bring it back to Fatty, the brother up top.
So I don't know what Shocks was talking about. Like, I guess he was talking about how like women can like sneak a man, like, you know, when they go sleep with other men and they set them up. But men do that with women too. Like,
Not
what
really.
about those girls? What
Not
about
really.
the men that go sleep with the girls and then she turn around and unalive the other woman, or turn around and pour acid on other women? Like, women will do
I seen
crazy
that
stuff
story you're
because
talking
of
about.
men. So hold on, Shock. It goes both ways. Cheating, it can be detrimental for both men and women physically. For me personally, I don't tolerate cheating. I will never tolerate cheating. Like, I think that's the best way to get rid of me. Like, just let me find out that I'll be gone. I'll be gone like Amazon Prime. But what I'm saying is, physically, both men and women do get hurt. Like, yeah, women get hurt, just like men.
When do you hear that a man sets up a woman? You rarely hear that. The women is doing it. The women are the ones that's actually setting up the man.
So
It happens every time. It happens. There's so many actual stories you hear when a woman is setting up a man.
Do we mean setting up physically, spiritually, emotionally? Like, what are we saying? Setting up.
The woman is not God. The woman. There's only one way that a woman can actually set up a man is physically. It's not no spiritual type of thing.
Jesus.
She's
No, it's emotionally. A woman can set up a man
Right.
emotionally.
You just asked the question. You just said,
Hold on. She can be deceiving. She can be deceiving to a man, and she can give the wrong set and lead the man on, and to make the man believe that she's all connected with him, and it's all a ploy to get what she's wanting. So she can set him up emotionally too. So that's why I asked you the question, in what terms do you mean setup? Because setup can come in all types of facets.
He's talking about those movies where the girls will go sleep with like the boss of the.
It's not movies. It's not movies.
Let me ask this question. The thing is, do y'all believe that when it comes to, I see more women forgiving infidelity than I do men, and the reason is because y'all tell me if y'all agree that men are generally more valuable. Men are generally more valuable to women beyond infidelity than the other way around. It's
Can
just
I
a
say
fact.
this right? I do for partially agree when you said that women are more forgiving than men. Now, do I feel that? Do I feel
Are
that?
valuable to the relationship
Hold on.
that beyond infidelity, and it's not
Anybody
the way
finna
the same
stroke
way.
your ego, I block Sims.
I don't. The thing is, I'm not looking for any co-signing from this. I'm talking about what we see in the
He
real
got his
world
drug.
today.
His drug is in the
I'm talking
comment
about what we.
section.
What, I'm talking about
She's in the
what we
comment
see.
section. Welling
I'm
his
talking about
ego.
what we. I'm talking about what we see in the real world today.
Ignore her
Women,
ass. Oh, she knows
women
I'm
are more.
ignoring her ass.
Women
Acting
are
a
more
fool in the
forgiving.
damn comment section.
Women are more forgiving towards men because men are more valuable to that relationship than the other way around. It's just a fact of it. Y'all see more value in that man beyond his infidelity, and men don't see women that way. We don't see you beyond your infidelity. No, the
Men
number,
more care
So
about
the
their
can
number
I
one.
marriage.
No,
can I
no. The
say
Men
thing
this
care
is,
more
right?
about their
hold on a minute.
entire
We're
The number
family
one.
than they
Hold on a
do
minute.
just
The number one
themselves.
thing. The number one thing that men are going out here to do when we go out here to win a woman's heart, we're doing it to win your affection. Your affection is the top thing, right? And you give that affection away. That's most men. That is it, right? But you're not giving yourself to us. You're not picking us solely for the top need of affection. You're not choosing us like that. We're choosing you like that because if you cut your affection off to us, it's over. We going on about our way. So your affection is what we are out here doing the work, building ourselves up. Why? Because we want to win the affection of that woman. And if you give
exactly.
that,
So, ooh, so I want to expound on what you just said. I want to expound, if I may. Like, I partially agree with what you're saying, right? Um, but but then it takes a turn, and then you go left, and then you miss me. About the value system, right? Everything a man do is for a woman. If let me just say this, right? Let's just say if women all across the states in the world, I like learn their worth and stop selling themselves short, right? And really tap into their self-worth and begin to require more of men. I have a question for you. Do you think men would just say, the hell with you, I'm gonna go on an island with men and we don't want anything to do with you women because whatever the case may be? Or do you think, hold on, or do
You
you think,
missing it.
or do you think, hold on, or do you think they're going to get their ish together? Like, come on, let's just be real.
The
Men
island
You
thing.
are
live for
What the
asking a
women.
hell? What the
question.
hell is even that? The island thing. What the hell is that?
I want to let the brother Fatty speak, and then we're gonna let Nadeed speak, because we ain't let her speak, and then we'll move it around. Go ahead, Fatty.
I will engage on the conversation so it doesn't get lost. V is 100% right. If women move and they say we are not marrying or having schmecks with nobody, if these are conditions, man will do exactly what the woman wants. The problem is the same way men will not have discipline if there's a big booty Keisha around. Women will sell their sisters to the opposition to get the man that they want.
Thank
Women are
you.
very woman women are community based until the guy that they like enters the room. As soon as
Take
the
your
guy that they
house.
like enters the room, there's no unity, there's no I'm going to hold my V card, there's no more nothing. So the reality is simple. Is and I'll say this is you can get it. What I don't understand about women not forgiving cheating is that you will be taken care of by your husband, be the main woman, have everything that comes with being with him, and you don't want to stay with him because he's a cheater, and you are not willing to share him with other women. Just for you to go back to the market, being single, and then you are going to share the man that you like because for whatever reason, that man has multiple women. So that's the part that I don't
But
understand.
that is
You
you
you won't
assuming.
share a man as the main woman, but you will share a man as side piece or one of the five women that that man has on rotation. I that part is the part that I don't understand.
Well, Fatty, I
And
just
that
want
is
to
you
say,
assuming that
oh,
a
go ahead.
woman will not be able. And I know what you're saying. In some instances, it's correct. Like you might like. like I understand. Like in some cases, for some women on here, like we've even seen some of them on stage today. It's just stay with your man. Just stay with your cheating man, right? But now that logic is also assuming that there are not women out here that can command that respect. Like
What
you
respect?
will absolutely not. And I know men are gonna push that boundaries. Men are going to try to test you, like see if you're gonna go back to your default delusional mode as a woman and you're gonna accept some bullshit. Men will fucking test that. And I
Yeah.
know, like, but again, I know what you're saying, and it's true for some women.
No, for
Just
most
stay
women.
with your cheating man because you cannot compete out here.
No,
You cannot bring that out of a man.
Beyonce was
Facts.
cheated on and she stayed. Who are you going to get that's better than Jay-Z? This is most women. If Beyonce was cheated on and she stayed and she's the queen
Fatty,
bee, like what are
that
you
is
guys
just what I
doing
was talking
exactly?
about.
But that
Fatty,
is
that
also you. That is also you going back to what I Block Simp was saying, where it's like where he said that women don't have any value to men outside of affection. And for most women, the men's value is usually sexual and financial. So when you do say who is Beyonce going to date again, we're assuming that she wants the financial part more. And even and a lot of women, most women actually do want men that are making more than them, even if they're making a lot of money. So I understand that dynamic. But they're just I know there are not a lot of women that maybe think like that. But there could be some women where it's like, you know what, I have all this money, I can take care of myself. There's not a lot, but let's also add those women into like,
Beyonce has
our
$300
conversation.
million. She doesn't need Jay-Z.
I
She
know,
wants him
but
because
but
she can get
but
more
but at
money.
the end of the day, it's like Jay-Z
Hold on,
makes
y'all.
more than
Hold
her.
on.
Fatty,
Hold on.
this is the thing. Women are
So
naturally hypergamous. They're gonna always want the best guy, and when you know you
yeah,
have
like
the
he's
best guy,
Jay-Z makes more than Beyonce. Who's
yeah.
Beyonce gonna
But
be
That's
with?
still,
Hold on
Beyonce
a
can
minute.
have any man that she
like,
wants
hold
to, and
on,
she
hold
got
on.
enough
But yeah,
money
but
to
she'll
do
be
whatever
dating
she
down though.
wants.
She'll be dating down. She
But
she
see,
she.
this
Who
is the
care? But
thing.
who care?
And
Who
most
cares?
men that are gonna be with a Beyonce already married.
Listen, man.
That's a financial
Hold on.
Like
relationship.
So this is the
women,
thing. This
I
is
that's
the
what we're saying.
hold on,
Oh
y'all.
my
Hear me
goodness.
out. Hear me out.
I said
The
it in
Let me
two
best
see.
parts. Let
guy,
me
the
land.
best.
Let me
Hold on.
land. So you guys don't get my words twisted. It's in two parts. Yes, there are men out here, most men that are going to make more than Beyonce in that hypogamy that we're talking about, most of them are already married or have somebody already. So Beyonce leaving Jay-Z, when you look at it from a financial perspective, which a lot of women tend to prioritize, even like when we make 100K, we want a man that's making 200K. We don't want a man that is making 80 or 70. Like even that is dating down for most women. But if what women, that's why IBK said something
It's
about
not about
women.
money.
That's why
It's
I
about
blocked
status.
something. Hold on, let me finish, Fatty. That's why I block Simp was saying that men have more benefit in a relationship outside of just the sexual stuff. Women also have to factor in the finances as well. And what
No.
that should be signaling, and that should be signaling to women is maybe sometimes not just think financial alone when you're accessing a man. Think about your respect. Maybe
It's not about
prioritize
money.
respect first. A lot of women
You
don't prioritize the self-respect first.
It's not about money. Jay-Z
Fatty,
got with
Yeah, hold
Beyonce
on,
because
hold
she
on.
was
It
a beautiful
depends. It
young
depends
woman.
on the
Fatty,
dynamic. It depends on
and
the
I agree.
dynamic that you were talking about.
Jay-Z
Like
got
Fatty,
with
Fatty is
Beyonce
correct. Fatty
Beyonce
is
and
because she
correct.
was
Jay-Z,
a
no, it's
one
not
second
about
please.
money.
So Jay-Z got with Beyonce because she was a beautiful young woman. If you can't even be faithful to me, that denies the first reason why I got with you. And when it comes to the opposite is, it's not about money. Beyonce can live 70 lives and never go broke. It's about the status. You will never find somebody that is on the level or bigger than Jay-Z to take you with 3 kids. And you know what Jay-Z can do? Jay-Z can go on the street tomorrow and find a
And
woman
that's
as
what I
attractive or
said.
You're
even more
crazy.
attractive than
Most men
Beyonce
that are on
and put
Beyonce's
your
level are
okay, you're going to
already
keep talking.
married.
No, but
So
that's
the
You
that's what I'm
crazy.
talking about.
so
You're
Oh.
crazy if you
what I'm
think
saying.
that Beyonce can't go
Check this
out
out.
here and get somebody that's
Oh,
richer and
We,
has a
we,
better status
give me
with
one
him.
man. Give me
Hold
one
on.
man
It's
of
Hold
it's
Jay-Z
on.
going
status
to
Hold
that
be
is
on.
going to marry
I'm
slim
gonna
to
give
Beyonce
you an
with
get
three
example.
kids.
Beyonce
I'm
on
gonna
that
give
It's
you an
not
level.
about
example.
money. It's
I'm
not
gonna
about money
but
when it comes to
listen, I'm gonna
Beyonce and
give you an
Jay-Z.
example. I'm gonna
Rich people have rich people problems. It's not about money.
right.
All right,
Fatty.
can I say
No,
this? And hold
Fatty.
on, can I say this really quick? Just to add to what Fatty is saying.
younger and
With
better
the
looking
dynamic
Beyonce
of
would
Man,
marry
bro,
him.
she
Beyonce,
just
hold on,
y'all
with
Oh
the
my
just never
God.
talk one at a
dynamic.
time, man. Damn.
Hold on, with the dynamic of Beyonce and Jay-Z, it is not about money. They in their own right. She had developed her whole career in her own
That's
right.
not what we're
Right, hold on, hold
That's
on,
saying.
but
not what
it's
You
she's
not
will
saying
about
though.
That's not
money.
what we're
Hold
That's
on,
not
saying.
what
hold
she's
on.
Oh
saying,
my
V.
Can I
Hear
God.
please
me out.
speak?
Hear
You
me out. Hear me
Can I
misunderstanding.
out.
You're
please
I
speak?
do
misunderstanding, V.
agree. I do agree
Can I
with him
please
when it said
speak?
it's not about money. In some different relationship dynamics, it could be about money. You hear these trophy wives all day, every day, knowing that they have
For you,
piss
he said
poor. Wait,
status.
hold on. Knowing that they have piss poor husbands or the husbands that do their thing on the side, but they love the status and they love the financial gain and all of that, and they agree to that setup. But in the dynamic of Beyonce and Jay-Z, that's not what that's about, right? It's not about the money. It could be about status, but it's not about money.
Okay,
Definitely status.
okay,
It's
hold on,
definitely, even
Yoruba.
though
Hold on, hold on. You talk, please. Give me a second.
Oh,
You look, Fatty. I can rebuttal that by saying Cardi B is a living example of what get back is. Her man was cheating on her. She divorced him. She is now with a better man who's more healthy,
We
makes
don't.
more money,
So
and
we
has
want.
three children.
As a
that
whole.
man,
Come on,
that
man.
guy,
That,
that
that
guy
man has
Hey,
also
five
made a
respect
conversations.
decision.
women, bro. Don't use
Listen,
that word.
That man was
listen,
smacking other woman
Cardi used to
ass
sell
in
her
the
She
stuff,
in
did.
man.
fighting
She's
school.
listen,
not
That's
doing
not
a
her
lick
man.
back.
Don't
listen.
use
That's
that
not
Did,
her
word,
did
man.
she
bro.
That
just?
man is not her man.
That is her man.
Cardi used
No,
to
he's
No, he's
sell
not.
her
not.
stuff.
Yes,
No,
Come
he's
they
on,
not.
man.
They were
are.
lit. Oh, one second, Coco. They
Cardi
were literally on the boat with three women dancing on him, flirting with him. That's not her man.
It's a
That's just a give
rebound. What
back.
are you talking about?
Yeah, the
So y'all,
Stefan Diggs. Do you really think Stefan Diggs is like Stefan Diggs is worse than Offset? He's not going to be faithful to her. That's not
You
her
ain't even
man.
taking that girl seriously, man.
I don't want to go off of what you.
She's a
But
jump
look,
off.
no, I don't want to go off what
She's
even
a
you
jump
think
Stefan
off.
Diggs,
the dynamic
She's
of
a
the
jump off.
that
relationship.
said,
Oh my
She's a
God,
jump off.
I don't want to
She's
think.
a
I don't
jump
want to go
off.
off of what
She's
you
a jump
think.
off.
Oh
Hold
my
on, man.
God,
That's
shocked.
hold on, man.
She's
This
a
is
I
a
don't
jump
want to
off.
go
terrible.
off of what you think the dynamic of their relationship is. What it is that she got three kids. She divorced her husband because he was cheating on her, and she is now in the
With
company
another
of a
dude who
better
cheating.
man with a bigger pocket and probably a bigger D.
you don't understand the
Hold on.
grading scale for this
We
man.
gotta stay on. We
They
gotta
are
Play,
stay
play,
on
grading
topic
this
because we
shit
going.
on a different
We
my
gotta
level,
stay
thing
and you
on
is
don't
too.
topic because
play,
we
understand.
play.
going.
Let me
We
get this
going
point out.
somewhere we don't need to go.
Let me
We
get this
don't know
point.
their life. We don't know the relationship. Anybody talking on this app think they know what's going on down there. We don't. Let's try to let everybody speak so we can engage in a influential, positive conversation, if at all possible. So let's just go one by one and let everybody have a chance to speak. Ms.
Let,
Universe, you just getting back up. Can you speak, please, Queen?
Yes. All I have to say is like I feel like women are so quick to throw a man away. Like sometimes there's a lot of temptation out here. Sometimes if he goes on business meetings, I'm not making an excuse for a man to cheat, but I'm not willing to throw my relationship away in its totality because he made a mistake. Now, a habitual cheater, that's something different because now you put in our health at risk and different things like that. But I feel like if he's doing stuff like that, it definitely needs to be some counseling going on, and for a woman to say, oh, well, she got her lick back. Do you know how much energy that takes for you as a woman to let, I don't know, maybe y'all just so like out here and it's like a revolving door in the bedroom, but I'm not just gonna let any man on top of me and pound me just so I can get back at the next man. I mean, it's just like
thank you.
I'm not gonna like defile my soul. And then y'all sitting up there like, oh, she getting her lit back. He deserve it. But it's like she also got three kids too. Like women out here have kids, they have daughters, and it hurts because it hurts, it really does hurt because I was cheated on, and it hurt, it broke my heart, but I loved him enough to try to figure it out and work through it, and eventually it just didn't work, and I knew that I had to leave. I knew I had to leave, but I'm not. I wasn't. I didn't say. I can't say. He can't even say. We can speak, but he can't even say that I threw him away. I disrespected him. I didn't get on the internet and out him. I didn't demean him as a man. I didn't talk crap about him. We just parted. and I
So
have my husband
What
now.
did
So
your
you know,
generosity
you
you
extend
hold
to?
on,
you
queen
hold on,
talking.
basically
hold
you
on,
That's a
hold
basically
on.
true
didn't
Go
queen
ahead,
talking right
try
say
to
there.
this
make it work though.
quick because she said
I just want
Y'all
to
y'all
get
trying
this
to make
point
it
out, and I'm
work.
gonna drop.
y'all a
I just
lot,
want to.
and
I
I
just want to
wanted
get.
to clarify.
V,
But
can I
you
get
know,
this? Can I get
anytime
this?
We have to
V,
everybody gets
look.
so hypersensitive. You saying I'm saying y'all. If it don't apply, let it fly. If somebody
No, no,
call, if
no,
somebody
no,
up here
no,
talking
no,
about,
V,
no. I'm
if
not.
somebody sit up
I'm
here
not.
talking
can
about
I get
I
this
just
who's
point
want
out?
to get.
Can I?
fellatio
Ray,
giving
let
Hold on.
women,
it
I
I know
I
just
what
just
the
want to
want
hell
to
they
get
get
my
gonna
this
lie
last
from
point
this
out.
though.
perspective.
I
I'm
just want
not
to get.
getting
Every time I get
personal.
up here, y'all run y'all mouth and try to attack me. Like,
I'm
what's up
not
with
getting
y'all?
personal. University,
Yes.
you're taking it personal. I
Can,
was
can I
just
can,
letting
can I
her
get this last point
you
out,
just
V?
took it
Can I
there.
get can I
I
get can I
wasn't
get this
going
can I
to
get
take
this
it
last
there.
point out? I just
Wow.
want to get this last point out. I'm gonna drop. I gotta go upstairs and go to bed. So the thing is, it's not the same, people. Women do not. Women when value just like the universe just she value her man beyond his infidelity. It's not the same for men. Majority of men are not gonna value their women past fidelity. They're not gonna do that. We're just made different. When men go out here looking for wives, they're doing. If that woman was to tell him straight out, listen, I know you pursuing me, but I ain't finna give you none ever. Dude finna go about his way. That proves that we're doing it for your affection ultimately. So and no man is gonna say, well, I know you ain't gonna give me none. I still want to be with you. Ain't no man doing that shit. So that proves that your affection is the number one thing that's valuable to us, right? So when you give that away to another man, that is a total rock solid violation of the relationship. With a woman, most women do not value the relationship in that manner. They're gonna value the man past that. We see it happening every day. There's women forgiving their men past for infidelity all the time. Why? Because they value their men beyond that. It's not the same the other way
It's
around.
packed. It's
All
even
right,
not.
but
It's not even.
hold
Hold
on.
on,
Can I
Raya.
say?
It's not even. It's not even the value. It's packed. It's also systematic. It's also patriarchy for women. It's also how women are being raised to maneuver this all revolving door around you coochie statement. But again, Cardi B, on the other hand, in order for you to understand what Cardi B is going through, she's not really getting a lick back on Offset. He,
What the hell?
it's
Wait,
not
wait,
really,
hold on before we go
it's not
left because
really.
that's gonna be that's a the, can I just say
Hold
something
on, let me
before that
finish because
goes
this is
left
what we're
on
talking
Cardi
about
B and
before Universe
Offset
spoke.
situation because I don't want to take it Offset to and Cardi B because that's gonna go we're
Okay, we
gonna
were
go into
just
a whole
talking about
nother
that, and I
rabbit
wanted to finish
hole.
my commentary on that. But go ahead.
No, I just wanted to say to what Universe said, like like I'm not making it personal, right? And I was just gonna have a dialogue with you. This is not to be on the attack, but when you say like for women who let's say catch their mate cheating or whatever, how of course you're going to be more apt to talking it out and trying to figure out why it happened, trying to find a resolution and all of that, which to each his own. I get it, right? And I think we all are going to, well, as a whole woman, I'm going to go through that process as well. However, my whole thing is like uh there are women who choose not to just go to the next person. They just choose to be in their single state and they don't like they're not being physically or intimately connected with another man, but they go choose to go off and heal and do what they need to do. So I want to just caution you just to not deviate to women just finding another person to do life with, because some women actually go into their space and heal and step aside from the whole relationship aspect altogether. And you can't demonize a woman for doing that, right? So don't place every woman in the box as if if she decides or when she finds out her mate is cheating, that she's automatically going to the next man. That doesn't always happen. She can
No,
actually
nobody
remove
said that.
herself and go
V-Ray, I
heal.
never said that though.
No,
Nobody
no, no.
said
I'm
that on
not
this
saying no,
conversation.
but
Nobody not
you
even saying
didn't give
that.
another. Hold
I
Nobody
on,
never
saying
you
none of that.
said
didn't.
that.
Hold on,
Nobody
you
said
didn't
that.
give a.
Sometimes they
Nobody
say,
said
somebody
that.
Hold
do.
on,
I
you
never
didn't get
said
the.
that.
You hold
Not one
on.
Nobody not
time.
even
Listen, hear
saying
me
that.
out. You didn't get. You didn't give another scenario. You only gave one scenario. Is if you when that woman catch her man cheating, she goes off and sleep with somebody else. You never gave another scenario where she go heels and she go deal with herself. You
That was
only
on the
gave the
panel.
scenario of her going to sleep with another man. And
That was
that's
on the
not the
panel.
case
They
always.
said they was gonna
It's
get their
other
lick
options,
back.
it's other scenarios, and you need to be open with those other scenarios. That's all
We
I'm
know.
saying.
Oh, Raya, I got your point. I know
Whatever.
where you're going, but obviously they're not going to accept that on this stage because that's not.
Who is not
I see what you're
You
accepting?
can
We
be
saying,
you
agree
but
can
with
just
be
let
with
her.
it
the
go.
sisterhood. You can be with the sisterhood. Only thing
Just
We
I'm
let it
agree
saying
go.
is
with
I
her.
just
Nobody
don't
said
want to
that.
have multiple men. And eventually, after her healing goes on, after she finished her healing
She's still
journey,
screwing.
however, whatever
She's
duration
still
it
screwing
takes, she's going to
somebody.
land on another cock.
But she's
I mean,
not
so
No,
ill.
what?
I'm
She's
What
not.
part
She.
is
Raya,
that
No,
don't
no,
okay.
no, no,
count?
Hear
no.
me out.
Raya,
Hold
let her
She's
on.
go.
not
Call me
healing.
out.
She's
What?
making
I'm
What?
herself
four
more
What's
years
damaged.
celibate. Call me out.
what's
Call me out. I'm 4 years celibate. What do you see about me? What?
No,
Why?
no, no.
We're not
Because
talking
you have
about
all
that.
these
That's a whole different
generalizations.
conversation.
Go.
Hold
They're
on. You
not. You're
have all
taking
of
it
these
personal.
It's
It's
not
generalizations.
not
about how
about
much
you,
celibacy you
Raya.
have.
Hold
It's
on.
about your
I'm gonna
body
fall on
Why are
You're
you
count.
another
just
cock.
gonna
No
generalizing?
let
one
her
cares about your
insult
celibacy.
you.
It's
I'm gonna
about your
fall
body
on
count.
another cock. That's
What
your
about
whole
your
response.
Oh
body
my
count?
God,
You can
you're
be
giving
celibate
her
and
room
still
to
have
Are you
20
disrespect
men.
you,
serious?
So
Who
Raya.
this the
cares?
problem.
You're
This the problem.
projecting.
And the host
Listen,
is
this the
talking.
problem we
You're
having because
projecting.
if we allow each other to speak,
Gosh,
we
Raya, you're
can be
just
able
giving
to
her room
get
to
through to
disrespect
each
you. Let
other.
it
We
go.
don't have to. Hey, Melanie, we don't have to over talk. We can just. I'm just being honest. If we want to do 30 to 45-second intervals, we can. It'll be much more aggressive because it's. I it usually don't go like this, but the good thing is when we do the replays, you can see yourself and you going back and forth, seeing that we can't get nowhere if we steady going at each other, not allowing each other to talk. It's okay to get, I don't want to say the word because we got this
Passionate.
yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
big. Yeah,
Thank you.
big. We hear you,
It's
big.
okay to get passionate without jumping on somebody over talking them. 35 seconds, 30 seconds, then let the next person speak, land the planes. And because there's a lot of people that want to come in, but I'm trying to allow this panel to get their views and their points across as opposed to just, so let's just, if we can, move it around in the circle. Universe, go ahead. After that, we'll just move it around and let everybody get a chance to speak. Hey, young lady.
Okay, host, I'll wrap this up and then I'm dropping because I really don't feel like arguing. Like I don't.
You don't
All
have
I'm
to
saying
argue.
is,
You can just speak your piece. We
yeah, but
appreciate
I'm
you.
kind of like exhausted with the whole thing
I
at
got
this
you.
point. You've been so great, host. You've been very
Thank
hospitable.
you.
I really appreciate you. But I just don't want to get down with the hyena pit.
I
So
got
I will say this before I depart. In my
She called
whole
them hyenas.
in my whole
I'm talking about yeah.
observation of on life, no matter how many years of celibacy one may claim to have or what they're doing, at the end of the day you're not a virgin. Who cares? No one cares about how many years you've been celibate. Men don't even really care about your body count when they should care about your body count, because it does affect you and your reproductive system and your ability to procreate with children, because every man that you slept with in the world will attach their milkshake will attach to that child's DNA, right? And I put the medical term in the chat, right? It's called microchimunism. That's what it's called. So it does matter about your increase in body count. No one cares if you've been celibate for 10, 15, 20 years. If you slept with 500, 150, 25 men, you still out of line. I choose to not go and do things like that. I choose to let it work out with my partner. I want to work it out till I can't work it out no more. Until I can't work it out no more. And that's what the Bible teaches you, to not jump ship on your husband. To he say in sickness and health, to death do you part. But I
Preach
can't
it.
have these
Preach it.
conversations with single women because
Preach
you're
it.
already in sin with the fornication.
Come on
That's
now.
why all of this cheating is happening to you, because you're not under his union, you're not under his decree, you're not under his vows. So you live in this reckless life out here, and it's sinister. It's going to always end horribly. So like whatever, y'all can demonize me, talk about me, call me, pick me, but at the end of the day I answer to a higher source above the universe. God bless y'all all. Bye. I'm done.
Amen. Amen
All
on
right.
that
Can I
one.
can
You
I
I would like
spoke
to
respond?
that one well.
Can
I would
I
like to
hold on?
speak.
Can I
That's
respond?
a
Let
that
let me. I
Raya,
hated that she
let it
left
go,
because I wanted to
Raya. Move
respond.
on,
um
Raya. Let it
so
go.
That was
That was
misspoken. For somebody to say that they read the Bible, that is misspoken because that is the only thing that you can break up.
Guys, let her go. Let it go. She
Hey,
over there.
Yoruba, hush, hush. I'm not hush. Let me
Hey,
talk.
listen.
Hey, okay. Let me talk. Like I said,
My
the
bad.
Bible
I'm
is
sorry, ladies.
misspoken.
My bad.
The Bible is misspoken because that is the only thing that allows you to break away from somebody is by committing adultery or fornication. So if she wants to speak about God, even God don't tolerate cheating or infidelity.
But y'all
So
don't follow the Bible because y'all are not virgins when you're married. So that's the point. You pick and choose when to use the Bible.
Thank
Fatty.
you, Fatty.
I agree.
No,
I
how
agree.
is that true? Like,
I
were
agree.
you a virgin on the day that you
You're not
married?
pure.
No. So
You're
it's
not.
pick and
Once
choosing.
you already lay down with somebody, you're not pure anymore.
And
Yes, you
You've been
pick
and
and
I
tainted.
and
choosing.
I and I'm
we
never
You've been
gonna be
moving the
tainted.
and I'm never
goalpost.
gonna be perfect though, Shock. I'm never gonna be perfect, but that doesn't stop.
I didn't say
It
perfect. I
doesn't.
said pure.
Never,
Pure.
never gonna. And wasn't born pure either. You're born a sinner.
You actually are
So
born a
you're
Wait,
sinner.
born a
no.
sinner. Yes, you
But
Yeah,
are.
how
you
are
are.
you
Yes,
gonna
you
argue
You
are.
are
what she
actually
You're
said?
born
born a
pure.
That's the
sinner.
Yes, you
thing.
are.
Yes,
You
you
were never
are.
touched. You are.
Wait,
You
hold
are
on. We
actually
keep
Oh
born
my
moving.
pure.
Hold
God.
on. We keep moving the goalposts. The whole foundation of would you forgive your spouse if he committed or she committed infidelity, right? And we all know if we are, I'm not religious or anything like that, but it gives a grounds of divorce in infidelity. That's the only thing actually that gives grounds of divorce. Let's just start there, right? Let's just start there from the Most High. And then secondly, where she's saying 25 to 100 people, who's given the number prior to celibacy or abstinence, right? All I was just saying with her whole scenario of whether you forgive your spouse or not, that's entirely up to you and the whole dynamic of that marriage, right? You have grounds of divorce, like the Most High Creator says it. It's in the Word. There's grounds of divorce
Most.
for infidelity.
Why you
It's
keep
up to
doing that?
you. He
What
he he
But
scripture?
he.
see, the
What
thing
Hold
is,
scripture
on,
you
hold on.
Most
speaking
of
to?
y'all don't
Hold
listen
on,
to
hold
the
on,
Most
What
High.
scripture? What
Most of y'all
scripture?
are not submissive.
hold on.
the
Most
thing
of y'all
is,
are not
Raya,
virgins.
the
Point
thing
Why
out
is,
you
the
keep
Raya,
talking
scripture.
about the Most High? Y'all are
He
not.
wished that hold on, he wished that everyone works it out, but at the end of the day, that's the
Drop the
only
scripture.
grounds.
You're
That's
speaking
the
on the
my
Bible.
only grounds.
gosh,
Drop the scripture.
Raya, you listen.
Give us a
Hold on.
chapter. Give us a
I'm gonna and
scripture.
then I'm gonna
She
go I'm
right,
gonna
right there. She probably will. A lot of men probably, if she look good too with that mindset, she probably have a lot of men in her DM because
So why
guess
hold
she's
what?
on.
not
No,
married
She a
hold
now?
on.
So
prey.
why
This is
she's
not
not
Hold
married
on,
now?
hold
hold
on,
on. I'm
hold
not
on,
trying to impose that
No,
hold
no,
on,
you
energy.
are capping
Raya.
for
Hold
her.
on,
My question
Raya.
is, if this
Fatty,
My
woman
hold
name
is
on.
is
so
not
good and so
Raya. My name
perfect,
is
why is she
V
not married
Ray.
now?
Please
Oh,
call my
I'm
She
name
has the
sorry.
correctly.
I'm not
mentality.
by
V
my
Ray.
phone.
V
V
Ray.
Ray.
It's V Ray. V
V
Ray.
Ray.
Don't
V
Raya. My
Ray.
name is not
So
Raya.
if
I don't know who is Raya.
hopefully she says she married, hopefully she got the body to go with it. Hopefully she keep that mindset. She gonna be alright, okay?
But
Because
hear me
trust
out.
me,
Oh, I wanted to land on this. I
they
only
gonna be
pointed
men
out.
trying to
I
prey on
only
her.
hold on.
That's
I
fine.
only pointed out what the young lady that just left said about just the only other option is just finding some other pickle to land on. That was her whole verbiage of finding something else to land on, and my whole thing was pointing her out. It's not that scenario in
It's
every
very
case.
patriarchal, but
Yeah.
She may go find herself and don't affiliate
and
with
don't land on another
anyone.
D
Why
and
y'all
an
And
Yeah,
always
yeah,
say
attractive
she
that?
one.
y'all
wants to
making it
stop.
personal.
Why do y'all always say that? Like y'all always say
Yeah,
I
yeah,
gotta
yeah.
find that self.
Right,
Like
because it's
I hate that
happening. What
term.
do you mean?
No,
Why
That
do we
so
term,
say
that
that?
term,
Because it's
listen, hold on,
happening.
ladies, hold on. That
Women find
term,
themselves.
listen. That
you don't
term,
find
like
yourself. You lose
it
yourself in the carousel. That's what it is.
here's the thing, right?
Fatty, please. Look
When
at
you
how
look at
serious your
yourself,
face is
hold
right
on one
now.
second, right? When you say that term, finding yourself, right? Where the hell have you been all these years?
Hold
She's
on,
been
you're
finding
not.
herself for 4
No, no, no,
years.
no,
Hold
no, no.
on.
Like, listen,
Oh my
no.
God.
Comprehension is
Hey,
really,
Shock,
really.
Vraye been celibate for 4 years. She finding herself. It take her 4 years to find
So,
No,
herself.
no, no, no.
right, but
If
here's the thing.
we're not about this
No,
whole just the demeaning of
no,
people.
no. Here's the
Like
thing.
you
No,
can get
like,
off on that,
com-
fatty, and that may score points
One,
with you.
the,
two,
the,
But
the,
those are
three,
like, listen,
4
hold
years.
on, fatty. You
it,
don't get no points for that, sir. You
here's
don't
the
get
thing.
any points.
When
Like
women,
you actually are frowned upon on the masses spiritually, because if I say that I am fine, if I'm going through my spiritual journey and I choose not to open my legs up to just certain random men who you deem who men preach women
So why you
I
to
not
not
disagree
married?
with
do,
that.
and then you wait,
I
hold on,
disagree
and
with
then
If
that.
you
you
are
I
turn
better
it
than
disagree with
me,
that.
around, hold on,
why
hold
we have the
on.
same
And
results?
then you hold on, and then you turn it around and criminalize the women for doing the things that you preach to the
Raya,
women.
You are
what it
not a
You are
is,
virgin.
what it is
You
you're
are
not
keeping it up before.
understanding.
You
You're
are a
not
hypocrite.
understanding
You're
that
a
your
hypocrite.
decision is
No,
not
no,
the
no, please.
majority.
Yoruba, don't
Your
interrupt her.
decision is
You
the
are
Don't
a
Yoruba,
hypocrite.
don't
minority.
interrupt her. She does need a
You are a
lawyer.
hypocrite.
Okay, she
If
needs a
you are better
lawyer.
than
My
me,
bad.
if you are better than me, and you've been on this spiritual journey for 4 years, and you have all these things, why hasn't a man pick you up from the
Are
market and
you
you
the
are on the
most
same
high
streets as
God?
me?
Are you the most high?
No,
Are you
I'm
the
asking
judge
you,
of all
why are you still
creation?
in the shelf just like
It's
me?
not for me to explain to you. It's not you listen. Are you the most high God? Do I have to explain my journey and my process and my
No,
season to
you
you?
explain your
Are
journey.
you the most high God?
No, I'm
That's
not.
my thing.
You explain
Okay,
your
so who
journey.
are you? Hold on. Who are you to judge my journey?
I'm
Who are you to
nobody.
judge my journey?
No, I'm asking you.
No,
Since
no,
you
you're
are
not asking me anything because it's
Vraye,
all disingenuous.
if
It's
you are
disingenuous. I'm
Vraye,
not gonna
I'm
communicate
looking
any
at your
further with you
face.
because
You
you
are
are
pretty.
foul. You're foul. You're foul. You're a hypocrite. You tell women to not open themselves up to random men, and when women don't open themselves up to
But you
random
did it
men, you
before.
criticize them. You criticize the women that are not opening themselves up to
No,
random
you
men.
did
You
it before.
criticize them too. You are a hypocrite. You
No,
are
no.
a
So let me just say this, and then you
Let
guys
her
got it
go.
right. So
Fatty,
no,
let
I'm
her
not
go.
talking
You're
about her.
being
I'm not
rude.
talking about her anymore. So imagine that I say this, right? I used to spend money in all the women that I used to date. I would spend money with Yoruba. I would spend money with Coco. I would spend money with Melanin. And now that I'm on this 4 year journey, I don't spend money on my future wife. You are not getting a dime before I marry you. You will go calling me crazy. If I'm spending money on every woman I'm dating, and all of a sudden I'm closing my wallet, you are going to call me stupid. You are going to say, so let me see if I get this right.
Fatty, that's not
Every
how that
woman could
works.
go on trips, get
Fatty,
bags,
that
get
is
everything
not
for
how
free,
that
and
works.
my
That is
future wife
not
is
how
not
that
getting
works,
nothing.
Fatty.
So that's what you're doing. You
That
gave it
is
yourself
not how
away,
that works,
and you
Fatty.
gave the coochie away to men that didn't deserve it. And now, because you probably are scarred, are on a healing
It's not a no,
journey
no. My
because
kids
you
are
need to
grown.
find
Okay,
the right
so
My
what do you
woman.
get
kids,
out
Ah,
of
my
that,
fuck
kids are
Fatty?
out of
Do
grown.
here.
you want
I'm
a
an
cookie for
empty
that?
nester. I
Do you
still
want a
look good.
cookie for
Hey,
I
that?
still have
Yaroba.
all these things going for myself. But
Do
just
you
because
want
I
a
don't
cookie for
center
that, Fatty?
myself around men, there's something wrong with me because I don't center my life around men. Are
Hold
you?
on.
You
You
just want
say
to be
you
mean.
say
Yeah,
you
you
was
do.
Stop
celibate,
Yeah,
right?
digging
you
at
do.
her.
Yeah,
Are
Stop
you
you
stop
do.
playing with her
serious? Are
Yes,
you
you
emotions.
do.
Y'all just
serious?
want to
Yes,
be
you do.
mean. Y'all just
Yes,
want
Right?
to
you
be
You
do.
say
mean to
you
her
was
Yes, you
because you
do.
know
celibate,
she
right?
vulnerable and
You
stuff
do
with
center
y'all,
yourself
and
around
y'all
men.
want to
Yes, you
pounce on
do.
her.
Just
Leave her
because
She
be.
I'm
wants
Yeah,
not
you
to
do.
centering
a
Yes,
myself
you
sad
do.
around.
story. It's a stop story.
Yes,
You
you
need to
do.
cry about it.
If you didn't
You're
if you
box
didn't
thinker.
center your life,
You're so surface
you
level
said
to
you
it's
center your life.
pathetic.
You center
It's
your life around
pathetic
men.
how
Yes, you do.
surface level you are. How
Yes,
surface
you
level
do. Yes, you
thinking
do.
you
You
are.
center
It's
yourself around men. Yes, you do.
Man,
Because if you
please, y'all
didn't,
stop. Let us move on to the
if
conversation
you
and
didn't, if
stop
you
pouncing on her. Look at men pouncing on
listen.
a woman, on one woman, two men on one woman. That's crazy. Leave her alone.
If that's the case,
You
why
didn't.
you are here?
You
a
didn't.
woman that's not downing men, a woman that's not downing men, but a woman that's choosing to to live and to walk true in her journey.
Yeah,
and
yeah, you still on the shelf.
I'm true to my journey, and I'm not spreading it wide to any Tom, Dick, or Harry. You want to scold me? Are you serious? You are weird.
Do you have kids?
Dude,
you
are
kids?
Weird. You are weird.
No, do you have kids, Ray?
You are weird, sir.
Hold on, let's not.
Ray,
Hold
do
on,
you have
hold on,
kids?
hold
Not
on.
a
Let's
hell or
not.
heaven to put me
Don't
in.
make things personal.
We don't have to. Right. We don't have to center each other. Let's just.
Stop it.
What I learned
Stop
is.
attacking me personally
Okay, but
with
when
his
the whole
surface
host is
level
talking,
This
shallow
is
thinking.
what I learned on this platform. When people start to share I respect people who be transparent, but what happens is when people start to share their anecdotal experiences, it allows for other people to come in and have opinions towards that. And sometimes what we do is we allow the conversation if the person is comfortable with it. If you're uncomfortable with it, we just slow that down and then we just try to move it around so we don't be feeling,
But
like we're being.
if you notice that the person is not really understanding what is going on, can you at least just tell people to just leave that person alone?
What happens is instead of a person that we'll keep going back and forth, and I notice that, and sometimes people do build, and it'd be a positive, but other times it do go left. So we don't want to, take people. We don't want to center people. We just want to have a conversation and allow
Just
people to
leave it
speak to
alone.
their point.
Because look at Fatty. Look at the way Fatty over there looking. He looking devious as
Because
hell.
sometimes people try to have a conversation and then it get derailed because of opinions get thrown around and then people don't want to have respect for it and it make people energy be going a certain way. But we can
That's
just
fair, but you
Well,
know
we
what the
can,
problem?
wait, hold on. We can have talks about the whole topic, but when someone comes up and personally attack you on why you're single and why you don't have it, it puts a person on defense.
But you lied though.
No.
if you
The host
if
already
you
put
did
it there.
not,
Why you want to fight again?
Vraye, if you had left universe conversation alone when I said stop it, you would never have got this far.
No,
Because
that's not
that
the
was the
point.
moment you personalized her statement and
No,
you started
the
to talk.
point was
That was where you got in. That's how you got in this
No,
mess.
stop for a second. You literally weaponized the fact that you had the husband and you said I have a ring and all that. You use your personal life. You literally use your personal life to make yourself feel better than everybody because you said I have a ring, I am married. So now all of a sudden, if I use the next person that is next to you and say, if you are all these, why don't you have a ring? Why didn't you have a husband? We shouldn't talk about what is personal. So you can talk about what is personal,
Hold on,
but she
hear me
can't.
out. I was
Okay,
only
I got you.
hold on. You guys are changing the whole concept. Universe said this. She and this, and I said, hold on. I said this clearly. When Universe said that I don't choose to jump on another. She's not. I'm not saying it verbatim, but in other words, she said I don't choose to jump on any pickle when my relationship doesn't work out. So I'm apt to more trying to resolve my issues so I don't have to change partners. And my whole talking point to her is what make you think that the women who choose to remove themselves from that situation of infidelity when they find out that their spouse is cheating is jumping on another pickle. Maybe they're not
if you'd been
jumping
listening
on
to
another
Universe
pickle.
since, you would have
Maybe
known.
they're not jumping on
But
another pickle. That's the whole point. And then
But you're not listening. Universe's talking point has always been that way. Remember, she attacked me as well, and I just left her alone because I already done picked the shit. Sometimes not every single battle is worth fighting.
You said he talking,
sometimes
and the
that's
man's
why
trying to say something. You hear the man
that's
talking.
why
Wait a minute, you guys. If the
That's why I
host
like
starts
having the
talking,
room
you
because
have to stop talking when the
we
host is
try to have
talking.
a certain type of decorum here, and I know people used to going in rooms where they just and because this real life and we grown. I'm under the assumption, and I try not to assume unless I feel I'm absolutely correct, but I'm under the assumption everybody here is grown, but I could be wrong, and I just sit back and try to listen, but people just it's okay for us to just have a conversation. It's all right. We can just go around the room. It's cool. It's 30 seconds, a minute. It's all right. We got a lot of people that's in the comments and they, and then, we got a room of people that's trying to learn and listen and hear. So if we can, let's just have a conversation. You don't have to make it personal. It don't got to be personal. If you want to go personal and you open to that, people be like, I can go, we can go. But if you don't want to, just shut that down and then
And just move on. And then you wouldn't have to bring up your personal experience and stuff.
Right. Reginald been up here for a second. He haven't got a chance to speak.
Oh, come on, Reggie. I'm sorry. I called you Reggie. I got a buddy named Reginald. I call him Reggie. Come on,
all
brother.
good, Reginald. Yes, good. So it's interesting. I read your prompt and I think we spend too much time on the fruit of the matter, not the root of the matter. Clearly, when it comes to cheating, and I'm only thinking in a marital sense, maybe, but it could happen in a dating sense because you're still technically, some respect, single. People typically, in some situations, don't wake up and just cheat. They have a choice to not cheat, which is wrong. But there's also oftentimes elements or actions that lead one emotionally to cheat. One of the things that
Patty,
I really ask women to look at doing, and this is in the rare cases, because like I said, everyone's going to have their own marriage, but do you believe, women, that if you deny your man sex is cheating?
Yes.
No sex is cheating.
Or smack,
Telling
smack.
your husband, not smexing your husband, denying your husband.
That's yes. That could be a form of cheating.
No, that's not cheating. I don't know what you're talking about. What you trying to twist now? What you trying to finesse and manipulate now?
No. Tell me why it's not.
Cheating. That is
Because
cheating.
it,
That is
Clarify
cheating.
that, Reggie. Clarify that.
so let's land at the space of place that marriage was constructed under a biblical or Christian sense, and that the two of you supposed to become one, and that you would never deny yourself something. It's very clear that there are only 2 times that the Bible talks about when she can deny her husband, right? I think we know those, if those who are Christian, obviously that time of month and in sickness. So be it that it may, if you're denying your husband, you're breaking the vow.
It's go preach to some other women, not me.
So wait, how do you
Talk back
find
instead
that?
of diminishing.
So let me ask you a question. Why you find that as a funny gesture?
Because she doesn't have a comeback.
You just reduced a human being down to a sex machine. You must
No, I
well
did
go
not
get a
reduce.
sex doll.
Are you serious?
She
Listen
could
to
deny
what
you
she
for
said.
whatever. She could
Listen
not
to
be
the-
in the mood.
Love me
It
on
don't
this.
give you no right.
Guess
no
what?
right. It's just like
Oh,
hold
Lord.
on,
What do you
hold
mean
on.
right?
It's not
You
every
gave up
single
your
time
right to
as a
become
woman.
one, did you not?
It's
Do you
not
not believe that
every
marriage
single
is
time as
one?
a woman you want to smex your man. Let's talk about it. Not every time you want to
It
smex a
doesn't
man, he's
matter if
horny.
you want to or
You
not.
didn't. You're
Yes, you
So
changing.
definitely.
sometimes,
You're making
sometimes
anecdotal.
some men are
It
not
doesn't
horny.
definitely
Then
matter
what
if
do we
Yoruba.
do?
You're gonna be very, very
Yoruba.
miserable.
supposed to
You're gonna be
do it.
very
When did you
miserable and very
marry your
Excuse me?
jealous.
man?
You don't never do that.
You guys
That's
act
that's
as
the
if
number one
every
thing.
single time
can
a
speak
woman
up.
wants her back
I can speak up.
broken, y'all are in the mood.
Ma'am, I
Yoruba.
can
I didn't
speak.
say
Ma'am,
men.
excuse
I
me.
just
1
said
second.
it's about your
I can
spouse.
So
speak. I can
You
if
could
my
speak
be the
up.
man
other
is
way
not in the
around.
mood, if my man is
Ma'am,
not in the mood, does that
Hold
give me
on.
room to then go cheat?
Let's let Reginald. So
Stop
3 people.
comparing
I hear
women.
3 people trying to speak. Let's let Reginald speak, and then we'll let Yoruba go, and then Shock, because
So
those
you're
are 3 people. One got
Nah, I
one
must be a different breed of woman because
going
y'all
blind.
tripping.
well. Listen, it's not about breed. It's not about your opinion of mine. It's about if you believe in the Christian and the Bible,
it's a promise.
because the
A
two shall
promise.
become one is what the Bible speaks. And I can't speak for any other denominational faith or whatever the case may be. So it is not about your personal opinion of what you want to do because you're not in the mood, obviously through agreement. But the idea that if you're denying your husband, you must become selfless and pleasing your husband as he would want to please you.
I
So
want to do I want to ask you a question, and Reginald.
If
Ray, I'm happy to
Hold on. Before I get to
answer any
Vraye, we want
question
to let Reggie
once I
speak,
land.
go, and then Shock, and then Miss V Ray. We can have a lineup to where we go ahead. Go ahead, Miss Yoruba, go, or Reggie, or whoever was speaking.
is I see I me personally, you cannot weaponize the Bible against me because like there's so many things in the Bible that no. The Bible is a stepping stone because like if there are times that a woman wants to smack.
But it
Let
is.
me finish. Let me finish. There are times that a woman wants to do the do and the man is not in the mood. Does that now say, oh, you're denying me now? So I get to go sleep with somebody else because you're telling me, no, I can't do it right now, or I'm not in the mood right now. Does that now tell me, does that give me room to go cheat? Because, like you're saying, if a woman denies a man, that's cheating. So when you deny me, that's cheating too. So I'm free to go cheat.
No,
Because
you
what it
sacrifice.
is,
See,
let
you
me
missed what
finish.
I
Let me
said.
finish. Let me finish my
You
point. Let me
missed what I
finish my
said
point. Let me
because you're
finish my
saying
point.
it.
You're
Yes,
not.
sir.
Let me finish my point.
What
Do
point?
not talk to me as though you're trying to convince me of something. I've given my opinion and it's never going to change. So
That's
we're
fine.
having conversations. We are not trying to change my mind. So remember, you cannot change my mind on this stage. I'm giving my
Nobody was
opinion
ever
now.
talking to you.
Now, like I've said, all that nonsense that you guys are quoting from the Bible in terms of
The
she
Bible is
can
not
only
nonsense.
deny you something on your period or
It's not
whatever.
nonsense.
The Bible is not nonsense.
You know what?
Do
You know
yourself a
what?
favor. Just remove yourself. You're speaking on something that's been more than 15,000 years,
You
1,500
just
years.
found something that you can use to weaponize your
It's
deviousness,
not
okay?
No,
Even
weaponizing.
you are devious. You are a cheater,
no,
remember? You told us you've been cheated already.
no.
I
I
don't
said
know
that
who
was
gave
an
you the moral
example.
high grounds to talk to
You
me.
hear what you want to hear. I said I'm
You
giving
cheated
you an
already. You
example.
already been cheated. You're
I
not like,
said I'm
man, get out
giving
of
an
here. I'm not
example.
your girlfriend or your wife or your sister. You
You are
you
my
have
sister.
moral turpitude.
You are my
You shouldn't
sister.
even be speaking when I'm speaking. Your character is flawed anyways. God damn.
Don't use God's name in vain,
Okay,
please.
all
Out of
right.
respect.
I'm gonna say it again. God damn.
Okay,
What you gonna do
speaking.
about
Wow.
that?
Okay,
You have a monopoly on God now?
excuse
The
me.
fuck wrong with you?
Excuse me.
Chill.
Excuse me. So for all the people who think that you should stay in a situation when people commit infidelity, are you also advocating for open marriages?
We're not talking
Okay.
about that, love, Coco. We're
I'm
talking
just
about no. So you won't get confused. We were talking about depriving your husband or wife of actually laying down with them. That you made a promise, the covenant of God. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about an open relationship, love. That's what we're talking about, depriving. Because there is two people.
Whole backup of the show. We can go
Ray,
back and
Ray,
forth. Can you forgive someone for cheating? I
Ray,
mean, that's the whole basis of the
Ray,
show. Like, we're not
Ray,
gonna
Ray,
say
Well,
that
the
she
answer
wasn't a
is
part of
Ray,
anything.
the
excuse me,
answer is
Ray,
yes to the
excuse me,
prompt.
Ray, excuse me. 1 second. First of all, it doesn't have nothing to do with that. We're not talking about cheating, okay?
Right.
We're not
That's
talking.
his
We
We
are
have
talking about
nothing. We
cheating.
have.
that's his prom.
No, 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 no. The
You trying
subject.
to make
That's his
we
prom.
gotta try to let people speak. I don't understand how we have. So I have panels. I've been having panels for about. I started 2 weeks ago. Every day, this last 4 or 5 days, been twice. This probably one of the more off the rail ones. They've been kind of all over the place, but sometimes we have people in here, great disagreement. They know how to have pushback. I don't understand what's the issue. We let people talk, and then the next person, everybody gonna get it. You guys been up here, and I've been trying my best to minimize who comes in the room to just try to let certain people, because I want to hear the pushback and hear the points, but I can't hear it if we can't give each other a chance to let him speak. If he off, it'll come out. If he clear, it's gonna come out also. And then everybody else can come behind him. Let's go, brother.
Okay, thank you. Now
Yeah.
we're only the subject at hand when the two gentlemen was explaining was depriving your actual partner, your husband or wife, of smets. That was the whole subject about it. We're not talking about nobody cheating or infidelity. We're only talking about of depriving that person of the actual reward that they've earned. Okay. The thing about it is, I have an uncle who had to deal with that experience. He never dealt with this all his life because he has 2 kids. And he has been married. The girlfriend that he was staying with at the time and everything else of his relationship with this woman, the woman had the nerve. This man was taking care of the bills and had his fair share of the ends of the actual house that he was staying in currently. She deprived him of that and claiming that, oh, it was some type of womanly thing going on or whatever. That's baloney. If this man is taking care of his business, he is rewarded in that. That is an entitlement that he earned. It's not by force. He earned it. It's a difference. When I was married and divorced, when my wife took away that actual sense of me being able to touch her and actually show affection, it was over. So don't tell me that. You can't tell me from experience because you were never married. Ladies and gentlemen, you do realize that when you deprive somebody of something that they've earned and you trusted them with your body and with your temple, that's evil. That's conniving. That's selfish. That's baloney behavior. You do realize that, right? That's childlike behavior. But you claim that you so-called are a genuine individual. You don't do that shit. That's total. That's a mockery towards you wasting that person's time. You do realize that, right? So if you claim that you're such a promising individual, then you need to go be with somebody. You need to go hit the streets for real. You want to play people. You want to play with people's time. Nobody got time to play them games with you. They earn their rightful place for that. You chose that person. Now, guess what? The person earned that actual reward. And I land my plane.
This ain't no reward. This is not no reward. Sex is
It's earned.
a
It's
privilege.
earned.
It's a
It's earned.
privilege. It's a
It's earned.
privilege.
It's earned.
Because
It's earned.
otherwise, what is the difference between your wife and a prostitute at this point?
Ma'am, you
What is the
including
difference
that.
between your wife
You're
and a
including that,
prostitute?
ma'am.
Because you're paying for stuff, now you feel like you're entitled to her legs if she don't open it. That's what
It is
you do with a
entitled.
prostitute. You
Ma'am, what
pay,
is
and if
wrong
she
with
don't
you?
give you, you
What
stop
is wrong
paying.
with you mentally? We did
That's
not.
why they say
Nobody did
marriages
not
for women is
include.
like
Nobody did not
prostitution.
include. Nobody did not include a streetwalker,
Maybe
ma'am.
try to
You
work
did,
on why your wife, maybe get some
ma'am.
self-control.
You
Maybe have some
included a
self-control and
streetwalker,
pray for her.
ma'am. We're
Maybe
not
pray
talking
for
about
her
a
and go to
streetwalker, love.
counseling,
We're not
right?
talking about a streetwalker.
Maybe
We're
ask
talking
yourself,
about
what
a
are you doing
person
wrong?
who actually you hold a
Why
promise in
doesn't your
marriage.
wife want to sleep with you? Maybe you
Sometimes
smell. That's why she don't want to sleep with you no more. Maybe you smell.
Will
Maybe
you
it's your
man let the
body
man
odor.
talk and stop
You
Nobody
know,
said
maybe
nothing
interrupting
like
you,
that.
maybe
everybody
your
up
dick
Nobody
here,
needs
said
to be
nothing like that.
enlarged. Go get a
please?
BBL.
Okay.
let's.
Okay.
I haven't heard from Lady London. Lady London, would you like to speak? Hey, Melanin, would you like to speak? I see you up there cammed up. I always appreciate the cam up. I love it, especially at 11 at night. Come on, Lady London, you want to speak?
I yield my turn to the person that's after me. I'll be right back after that person.
Okay, thank you, Melanin. You want to speak, or you? Okay, come on, sister.
So I'm just gonna speak to the prompt.
Thank you.
Can you forgive someone for cheating? I can absolutely forgive a man for cheating. In my world, he's not cheating anyway. It's in a man's natural nature to desire more than one woman. Am I saying that every man acts upon this or, engages in this? No. But men don't cheat. That's just a word women use to try to shame him for his natural nature. But I'm not going anywhere. Forgive him. Forgive him for what? He hasn't done anything wrong. Okay? Are you keeping her? Were you just having a good time? Do I need to know anything? Like, this is ridiculous. Men and women are not equal, and we need to respect them and have some understanding and not just automatically shame them and say that they're cheating. I cannot stand the word cheating when it's pertaining to a man. And I yield. I don't want to be too long.
Thank you so much. See, clear, concise, and to the point. Okay, now I haven't heard from Just J Hus. Let's speak, brother, and then we go back to Reginald, and then we let one of the ladies speak, and then we do it back and forth.
All right, thank you, bro. First off, none of us here are Jay-Z. Second of all, none of you ladies are Beyonce. Nobody here is Cardi B. Ain't nobody here on that type of level. So we're not going to use them as examples. We're going to use ourselves as examples. Now, for those that say, can a man forgive a woman? Yes, best believe. And forgive me if this comes off wrong, but you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, is my high school sweetheart. That's my first love. I'm 34 years old now. You know what I mean? I got 6 kids, and my high school sweetheart, that's the first woman I fell in love with. And when I said, I don't know who it was that was on here before, but he was talking about it. When you really love a woman, you could look past that. Me and her, regardless if we were together or not, we had a little split up after we had our, after we had our first daughter. And I'm going to speak only on myself. And I say this because what putting biblical beliefs into your marriage, letting God lead your marriage, God's going to do his part. Everything's forgiven. We remember the story in the Bible where it talks about the prostitute, and Jesus Christ said, for those that have not sinned, throw that rock. Ain't nobody could throw that rock because we all done sinned. We all not perfect. So don't sit here and judge the other person next to you. Let us get a better understanding of what forgiving is. So in my case, being madly in love, this is where you guys are gonna hear the twist. Remind you, this is my high school sweetheart. We separate after my daughter, and whatever it is, it's a break. But I'm constantly, making that attempt of when I go pick up our daughter, I try to, hey, I miss you, girl. You know what I mean? I hope you're doing well. XYZ, you know what I mean? Whatever. And it gets to a point where we've been separated for about 7 to 8 months already, and she gives me an invite to go to Disneyland for our daughter's birthday. And I said, man, I said, that's the first time I ever had that. The only kind of communication was, when can I pick our baby up? When can I pick our daughter up? You know, I'm going to drop her off this. That's the only communication. There was never no physical hug. There was never no physical touch, nothing like that. The night of Disneyland, I get a text message, and this Disneyland trip was the best. But this was the closest to me that I've had since we split up of what a family really is. So when you know what family is and you really know what love really is, you're gonna understand where I come from and why I accepted what I accepted. So that same night, I get a text message after Disneyland was done for, and I get a text message and saying, you know, hey, there's something I want to talk to you about. Okay, you coming at me, we talked about this earlier, humble. You coming at me humbly and you taking accountability. You know, did I feel played because you invited me and thinking that maybe this is the opportunity for our family to reunite? I get a text message saying I'm pregnant. Well, I haven't been up in there. I know I haven't had not one hug. I ain't had not one touch, no nothing, no shaking of hands. I had no physical contact with this woman. So off the bat, I knew this baby wasn't mine. Any typical man's gonna sit there and do what? Bounce on out. Well, that ain't my problem. That ain't my, you go figure that one out yourself. But with true love, people think that love is just beautiful. Love could be pretty ugly. Love is a two-way street. Just like you believe in God, guess what? When you pray, you think that you just praying to God and God's the only one hearing. Guess what? There's another person on that phone. There's two people on that phone call when you praying. And I'm going to keep it straight biblical. I'm going to keep it straight facts. So when you praying to God and you praying, I want this, I need this, you God, give me a better this, guess who else is listening? The enemy. So at the end of the day, true love will make you forgive this woman. As long as it's genuine, as long as it's humbly, and she recognized what she did wrong. I knew that the biological father of this little boy ain't want nothing to do with this woman. Why? Because he did not love her the way that I loved her. And when I say I loved her, it was in the fact that I said, you know what? You're 3 months pregnant. I'm going to tell you one thing. This ain't a promise to you, but this is a promise to my son. A boy that's not my blood, but this is my son. I will never abandon him. I will never let him go throughout life without a father because of what I went through. We go through our trials and tribulations, and we get put in situations to test that love, to test that morality that we carry. So yes, a man could go ahead and forgive a woman for doing wrong. Maybe we wasn't together when this happened, but guess what? She wanted to return to me because she valued and understood the man that she had. She seen the potential in me. So for me to say, you know what? I'll take that accountability because at the end of the day, it's not that little boy's fault. But the biological father didn't want nothing to do with this woman. Why? Because he didn't love her the way that I loved her. So for the man that was on here earlier speaking about, you know what? I didn't realize it until it happened to me. Before meeting her, I was the biggest dog out there. But one thing about dogs are the most faithful dog. Your dog could be your best friend. Period. A dog is the most faithful animal and creature that could walk this earth. So call it what you want it. I'll be a dog. But at the end of the day, can you forgive someone for doing committing adultery in that sense? May we have not been together, but we returned together. That downfall is what brought us back together. So just speaking from a situation that I went through, you know, we could sit here and say and glorify, but yes, the man will always be the prize. The man will always be the head of the house biblically. The man is the head of the house. So when you learn to set your foundation, don't question your man when he says, hey, we going this way. You already disrespecting the man in his leadership. You don't believe in his leadership. You don't believe that he could guide and take you to the top of that mountain. So whether if it's you looking at it and you're thinking that the woman's just a toy, no. There's gonna be times that hey, that man just came home from work, 12-hour shift. And the only thing that he wants to turn to is he don't want to go get a beer. He don't want to go turn to a substance. I've been an ex-addict. I was an addict for 6 years. But I done learned, you know what? Instead of me going and turning to that addiction, I'm going to go ahead and say, you know what? Hey, woman, I'm frustrated. I'm irritated. You know what? Thank you for dinner. Thank you for food. I appreciate it. Good to see the kids. Kids are asleep. You know what? I need to release some frustration. The moment that... Hold on. The moment that woman denies me and says, you know what? I'm not in the mood. It's a sacrifice that you willing to take. Say, you know what, my man just been at work, dealt with this. I don't know what he dealt with at work. It could have been the most worst day. It could have been the worst day at work. And the moment he comes home to the one person that he confides in, that he trusts in, is gonna deny him because she ain't gonna give him a little something. Let me tell you something. You're not gonna go date a man that works at Burger King. But you know how fast a man will date a woman from that works at Burger King? Ain't no woman gonna sit here. You can't sit here and say, oh yeah, I'll date him. No. You will not drop your level down and say no, because why? Reality in 2025, the world that we live in, women's expectations is I want a man that makes six figures. I want a man that makes 500,000 a year. I want a wedding ring that's a big, big rock. Make it make sense. You know the percentage of that of all men. I guarantee you, every man that's in this, and even the host, know what I'm talking about when it comes to that percentage is less than 10% in the population. You know how many men out there make 100,000, 500,000 a year? It's not what you think, but but most women are expecting. Most of the good men are sitting there working at that McDonald's. Most of the good men are sitting there working in construction. Most of the good men are sitting there busting their back just to be that provider, to be that leadership, to be that man. And it comes to the point where the one thing that comes down to cheating is he ain't had time for me. Why did he have time for you? Because he's been busy working, and the moment that he comes home and he wants to say, you know what? It's been a long, long day, and you know what? I need to count on you to be that woman that I need, be the wife that I need.
Lyndon is back.
So it comes down to a two-way street. Are you willing to forgive, and are you willing to accept what comes with that forgiveness? And also, when the person that's doing the cheating, that person must take accountability and say, okay, I made my mistake, but I also got to know what's going to come with this. That means I got to reassure my woman. I got to make her feel comfortable when she feels uncomfortable. So when she feels like I'm cheating, I got to make sure I correct that. It's a two-way street.
Hey,
So again, we're not Jay-Z, we're not Beyonce.
okay, we get it. Can Linda speak, please?
Hey y'all.
What did you get about that? Let me ask you that. What part did you get about that?
I got that you were monologuing at the end, but I don't think that in your situation that wasn't cheating. Your baby mama had moved on, and you chose to step
She
up.
didn't move on because she returned. She returned.
Okay, but she didn't cheat on
Cheat
you.
on you.
She
You
didn't
were on
cheat
a
on you.
break.
Y'all, she
Sir,
returned to
he
you
is an
after
emotional
you messed
manipulator.
up.
Just imagine
So
how he
that's
talks
not
I
the
to you.
same
very am. I was raised by
situation.
women. I'm an emotional man. Yes, you're right.
And that's
I'm an
okay, and
emotional
that's
man.
Emotional
fine, and that's
manipulator,
fine. But in your
manipulator.
But
You
I'll be
have
situation,
the
that
common
most
wasn't
man
sense.
that you'll ever
cheating.
You know
need.
she ain't cheat on you. You know that.
That wasn't
But you're
cheating.
not gonna go there with you.
Okay,
You smart enough to know
okay.
that.
Let Linda speak.
Don't attack him.
Hey.
Let's let lady right. We don't. Sometimes it's okay to have a disagreement. This is easy work. Come on, lady London, go ahead and speak. Appreciate
Um,
your insight, J Hus.
Sit there and gaslight her too.
respond to the prompt. I can forgive a person after cheating, but will the marriage, be the same after the fact? I really can't say, because a lot of the times when cheating comes in a marriage and a relationship, things change after the fact. And one thing I learned when I was in school, when I was being taught by different therapists and psychologists, they taught me that the person who gets cheated on in a relationship has all the power, because you done did something to wrong them. And they could say, well, hey, well, but you cheated on me. You did this. A lot of times the person who gets cheated on wind up getting their way, for a little while after the fact, because of what you did to them. And I'm kind of the same way. If you just cheated on me 2 months ago, you ain't got no business asking me where I'm going 10 o'clock at night. You need to stay in your place. Because I'm gonna ask you, well, was you thinking about that when you was laying on top of that other woman? Well, that's the very thing I'm gonna ask you. Okay.
Make it right though.
Yeah, I'm not
That's
saying
what
do
you just said
wrong.
though.
No, I'm saying you don't need to be up on top of me, because you don't worry about that
2 months ago when you was on top of that other woman. That's what
But
I'm
you can't
saying.
go into the past and bring the past up. The past has been
I
written.
guess subject her. Nobody
Past ain't no
interviewed you.
past
Come
nothing. The
on,
past is called
let her
history.
talk. She
Very
didn't
important.
interview you.
My rules with men have always been, don't do nothing to me that you don't want me to do to you. I ask you to respect me as I respect you. Do I believe that women should deprive their husbands of intimacy? No, I don't, because that's your husband. Now, is your wife always going to be in the mood all the time? No, she's not. She's a human being. Some days she may be having a bad day. Some days she may be sick. Wife ain't always going to be in the mood. And then you can't intentionally upset that woman and then turn around and expect her to lay down with you. Because some men, they feel like, well, they should be able to do whatever they do in the regardless, and the wife always supposed to be ready to lay down. It don't always go like that. But I don't think a woman should use it as a weapon. You shouldn't use it as a weapon on a man. But that's my take on it. I know somebody in here mentioned it was a woman in here saying that men don't care about body count. Some men do care about body count. They care about how many other men you have slept with and how many other men you have been with. And if you got a bad reputation for yourself as a woman, that may mess you up with certain men. Because when God could be ready to send your husband, send you a good man, and this man I heard that you done slept with half of the state. Now he really don't want to fool with you. So women sit up and say, well, body count don't count to men. It's with some men it do. You always want to try to keep your reputation neat as a woman, because not every man is just going to be okay with marrying a 304. Some men will, some men won't. So I just say be careful with that. And the reason why I say some is because in 2025 it's so different, because a lot more of these guys are marrying whoremongers now than what they used to back in the day. So it's different because the 304s is getting wifed up more than they did back then. So that's why I have to say some, because it's just different these days. It's different because back then, they always told you, well, don't no man want no 304. Nowadays, you're looking around, these men running after the 304s. They marrying the 304s. They falling in love with the 304s. So that's why I have to say some. I can't say most of these men today are different, baby. But host, that's all I wanted to say. I'll go ahead and mute.
All right. Thank you, sister. Who haven't had a chance to speak?
Thank you.
Miss Coco, we haven't heard from you in a minute. Can you and Reginald? Reggie, you can go on first and then let Miss Coco speak. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I'm just piggyback on this when it comes to husband and wives. I'm not make it all religious, but Ephesians 5:28 answers every question we need to know when it comes to what God gives authority to one another when it comes to the body and how we're to love it. But I think the bigger question when it comes to weaponizing is not so much the withholding of the smecks, but understanding that cheating is never acceptable, never correct or right. That if you are choosing to divorce your spouse, it's not because you're cheating. The Bible doesn't say you can divorce. It says you can divorce if you're cheating under circumstances, and they've outlined some variables to do such. It doesn't mean you have to divorce. And I think too many people don't count the cost or recognize the consequences that they're not willing to uphold. So it may be better for you to consider staying married, working on it, forgiving, because you're not about that life based on the conditions of if you choose to divorce. Otherwise, you'll be committing adultery yourself if you just go out and meet the next person and that person hasn't married, meaning your ex. That's when you're finally released and freed. But I think when it comes to this prompt, men do it a lot, and people do it a lot when it comes to forgiving from cheating, because cheating really started rooted somewhere before it even actually comes to having smecks. Smecks is the fruit. It's the root of the cheating that led to it, because you don't just wake up and fall into it or land on top of it. You've been cheating emotionally. You've been cheating, plotting, in a physical manner until you actually drop your clothes. I land.
Okay, thank you.
So to piggyback off of Reginald, I know what he's talking about. If you choose to divorce biblically, then you have to remain single because you're still bound to that person until they unalive. So I understand where he's coming from. And I'm not saying after somebody makes a mistake one time, that you shouldn't try to work it out and figure things out. But if they continue to disrespect you and they continue to defile the marriage, I would walk away. You can forgive them for being human. That's what they chose to do. But there was a choice that they made. It's not an accident or a mistake. You don't just fall into somebody's lap. The same energy you put into committing infidelity is the same energy that you could have put into fixing the relationship, or even better. Nowadays in 2025, we have all different types of colorful relationships. If this is something that you just want to do, I can say, hey, play. Can I have a girlfriend?
Hell yeah, you can have a girlfriend. Three
And
of them.
listen, and then who's committing anything when you've told your partner the truth? So I land on
You
that.
want to go? Hold on, don't land nothing. Keep flying. You want to have a girlfriend?
Put it in writing, get the love contract.
Listen, we'll talk about that another
Come
time.
on, Reggie. Come on. That's what you said. Conversation. See, it's getting exciting now.
It is Pride Month. I'm just saying. Anyway, yeah,
No, keep flying. Fly that mother. Fly that plane.
I'll
No.
land.
Somebody else want to speak? Miss Vraye and Shop. I like to hear from you guys. Go ahead, Miss Vraye.
I don't know where to take it from here. I'm just listening.
Oh no. You see what it takes. Keep flying that plane. Help co-pilot that young lady plane.
I know what to say from here. But I will say that what I heard earlier about men
Oh, okay. I'm
can't
sorry,
cheat.
sister. Okay, go ahead.
About what I heard earlier about men can't cheat, or that's a huge misconception of like how men are wired, so we shouldn't put that on men, and like as in cheating, that's just how they are. I would say it's all fun and games, right? Until something meet you at your front door that you didn't expect or that you weren't looking for. I'm all about transparency, and there's all different dynamics of relationships now.
What's gonna meet you at the front door? Cause what you
What
talking
I
about meet
mean
you at the
by
front door?
that,
What's gonna meet you at the door? The gorilla? What's gonna meet? You just made what you just say.
what I mean by that is, if let's say your spouse is cheating, right, and you don't know, you have no knowledge of it, and your spouse is cheating. I think it was stated earlier about the men in particular, like men can't cheat or something. Like, it's like, I don't know why that label is being put on men about men cheating, because it's just men in their nature and who they are.
It's not that. It's a little deeper than that. But you'll have to be willing to have an open mind and understanding that most women are not. So we'll just leave that
Right.
with
So
that.
that's what I was getting into. There's different dynamics of
Yeah.
relationships nowadays, and it's all about transparency, right?
Right.
It wouldn't be deemed cheating if you're open and honest and transparent with that person. It's only when you're being deceptive, or you're lying, or if you're not being straight up with that person and you're doing things behind that person's back, and then something is brought at your front door, i.e., maybe in a marriage, you're married to your husband, and you find out that your husband would had another relationship on the side, and he has another woman pregnant, or it could be even worse, right? Because there's worse scenarios where he brings you back something that's incurable. It's all fun and games.
People like to go to them extremes. It's very
No. I'm just
when
saying.
you
No.
look
I'm
up
a
the
realist.
statistics,
No.
though,
I'm
it's
a realist. At the end of the day, I'm a realist. But it happens.
that's not reality.
It happens.
It could be perfect, or
Don't
it
be
could be
it don't be
ugly.
reality.
It doesn't have to
We
be
coming
that.
back with this.
So I want
What
to
you call
ask
it?
you,
This
player.
three-letter thing.
Player, you said something about like when she was talking about men being promiscuous and how like they were saying that it's like male nature to be promiscuous. You said that it was a conversation that a lot of women are not open to talk about or something like that. You said something.
No.
Women are promiscuous. They're hunters.
She was saying something about men cheating.
Yeah.
And so what were you trying?
You have to be able to
That's
have.
how they are.
See,
Men cheat.
Anyway, it's not. All I know is it is not you all's nature to be promiscuous. It is just the excuse because society allows you to be promiscuous, and then you dump it on gullible women as that's your nature. Because we know not all men cheat, but if given the chance, like a woman, y'all will be promiscuous. It's just
Okay.
y'all don't let women be promiscuous in
All right.
peace.
Let
Is
us
there a
speak.
man?
Go ahead. You go ahead.
That's it.
How are you saying
Okay,
promiscuous?
okay, go ahead.
Men are not naturally promiscuous. They're not.
No, they're not. They're not a girl.
They are
Promiscuity.
promiscuous. Yes, they're promiscuous
Promiscuity.
if they want to slip around. We
Promiscuity.
gotta call a spade
Did
a
you land
spade.
your plane? Because I want to respond. So did you land your plane?
Please don't give me an attitude here because nobody's looking to
No,
marry you
this
on
is
this
a yes or
stage.
no question. There's no
Don't give me an
attitude.
attitude on this stage because
Oh,
nobody's looking to marry
oh, did
you.
I do
When
anything
I'm
wrong
done
here?
speaking, you can speak, but you don't need to
Okay,
come for
so
me
I
like
asked you,
that.
did you
You
land your
don't need to
plane?
come for me like that.
If you're
There's
still
no need.
talking,
Nobody's trying to marry you and I here. There's no
yeah.
competition.
If you're
You
still
don't need to
talking,
compete
that's
every single
fine.
fucking time.
What are you
Nobody's
talking
checking for you
about?
on this stage.
Why are you so pressed?
I'm not pressed. I'm just telling you your attitude is
No,
giving pick me
I
because
asked
all
you,
you
did you
had to do
land?
was all
If
you
you're
had to
still
do is let
talking,
me finish my conversation
okay,
with
so
player, but you
all
want
I
to come at me
did,
sideways.
no, I
Talk about,
didn't.
oh, let me finish. You don't land
No,
in.
if you have something to say, I'm more than willing to let you
Okay, well
finish.
now you want to play
I'm just
calm. Now you want to
asking.
change the energy. Okay, my bad. Let me finish speaking then. Okay,
Okay,
let's go that way then. Now since you want to be calm, I'll be calm with you too. Since that's how you want to play. You want to throw stones and hide your hands? I'm gonna throw mine too and hide my hand. Because now you
okay.
want to act all innocent and
What else do you
Hey,
naive.
want to
go
Like
say?
you
now.
didn't know what
Go.
attitude
What
you
did you
was
want
given
to say?
earlier.
Okay, y'all. Miss Shikana haven't had the chance to speak. Miss Shikana, are you there?
Okay,
Yeah, I am. I
I
am.
haven't had much time to speak, and she is addressing me, so I would like to have the
No,
dialogue.
please don't do that. You're not a victim. Trust me, you're not a victim. Actually, you're very dangerous. You're a very dangerous person
What did I
because
do?
you knew what attitude you was given, and I'm gonna stand 10 toes ground. You knew the attitude you was given, and I'm giving you back the attitude. Now you want to be a victim. Now you want to act all innocent,
Okay,
right?
so did you land your
So,
plane?
so, so, as I was saying, these men, before you started to cut me off and give me attitude, these men
Continue.
are promiscuous. They are promiscuous when they do slip around. That's what they're doing. They're being, when you said, oh no, promiscuous is just for women. No, men are promiscuous. That's what you're saying when they tell you it's in your nature to slip around. And that's what I was actually having a conversation with Player when you decided to jump in with your attitude. Okay. So these men are promiscuous. That's what they're doing and they only want to get away with it. They're gonna try to get away with so much. So when they say it's in your nature to be promiscuous, it is not in your nature to be promiscuous. But they will get away with it. It's fun to be promiscuous. There are a lot of women out here that they like riding a lot of dicks. And dicks is nice. It's beautiful.
You have to
There's
watch your
nothing
language
wrong.
on the
There's
plane.
nothing wrong in slipping around and having a lot of dicks. But the only thing is
You can't
they
say
just
that
wanna
word.
they just wanna use morality to kill women. It is just a morality topic.
You
It is
can't say
nothing to
those
do with
words.
anything other than morality.
You can't
That
say
is
those
all it
words.
is. It's just morality games with women because women can do the same thing that men do. And there are a lot of women doing it out here, but you call them 304s, you call them a lot of names, but women are doing it. After all, prostitution is the longest profession, it's the oldest profession. So men just want to be promiscuous and they want to shame women for doing the same thing because men like to have the upper hand in everything. They like to throw stones and hide their hands. So it's not in your nature to be promiscuous and sleep around. It's not.
Do you land?
And you're still doing the same thing I asked you to stop doing since, right?
Yes or no question. Are you?
Well, it's not a yes or no question because it's an attitude thing for you.
Yoruba.
Okay.
There are certain languages that we can't use up here, though. We got to use
Thank
smacks
you.
and,
Thank you,
and click.
Coco.
and
And a lot of
unalive and stuff like
thank
that because
you.
this is a
A lot of
family app.
words you're using that should not be used on panel. And since this is not your panel, you should be mindful of the words that you're using out of respect for the host. This is his panel.
What words?
You have to say unalive. You can't say that the D word, like you can't say those words on panel. You could get in trouble for that. So just be mindful. Just use descriptions for your responses and what you're trying to say. Um, when I'm saying men, are you? Did you land? Okay. So when I'm saying that men are not promiscuous, that's not the form of language that you use when you're describing something that a man is doing. Okay? Women are promiscuous, not men. But women, oftentimes, when you're speaking in regards to a man, you want to use words that are degrading him, like promiscuous and cheating, and that doesn't even make any sense. Okay, men are hunters. It's a natural reaction for a man that's in his natural nature, that's reacting correctly. This is natural. Does he act upon every impulse? No. But for you to think that he's supposed to be equal to a woman, that he's not supposed to have these traits about him, what would we want a man for? We might as well just be with a woman. We want to be hunted. We want to be pursued. They're not equal to us. We're supposed to be kept. We're supposed to not cheat. We carry the universe within our womb. We have a responsibility to hold ourselves to a higher regard. And I don't understand why women are continuously policing a man's body. He doesn't answer you. He answers to a higher power. That is not you. You answer to him. The only people that answer to you are children. And the fact that none of you come virtuous with your demands is ridiculous, to say that you would not forgive or you don't understand how he does things from a flesh standpoint. You ain't no virgin. You didn't hold out. You didn't wait till marriage. This is ridiculous how we want to hold them to a higher regard than us as women. If we respected everything about ourselves and our femininity, how are we holding them to a higher regard than we hold ourselves? I am at a higher regard to hold myself. I'm like, what? This doesn't make any sense. You guys want to keep arguing this, and it's ridiculous. And I don't even want to run on because it'd be so irritating sometimes you start repeating yourself, but I land.
Um,
I don't think
V
you
right.
believe all that you
Hold
said
on,
because
Yoruba. Hold on,
you're
Yoruba. Hold
Was
on,
that
hold
Miss
on, hold on.
Shakina?
V right. V. Okay.
Mm. Y'all keep skipping over that lady.
Ready.
Shakana.
Oh Lord, please. Go ahead and speak, Shakana.
It's Shakina. It's pronounced Shakina.
Shakina. Okay, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. Yeah, I just want to say thank you to the host because I have been sitting and listening to all of this, and yeah, wow, what a position you've got,
I'm
host.
sorry, I didn't even see you. I just
That's
had a look.
okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, sister.
Um, wow, what a hot topic, huh? Like really, I mean, it's a hot topic. I just wanted to just express a bit of stuff. I'm not here to place any judgments or any suggestions. I'm actually a therapist, but I work in a more spiritual term. So I specialize mostly in trauma. And some of the work that I do is relationships. Hello. I'm also coming from a perspective of a woman, and I am in my second marriage, and I'm now 54. So my initial marriage with my beautiful children's father was when I was very young. So I went through a lot of issues regarding betrayal. I call it betrayal. So I'm trying not to be triggered by a lot of the conversations in here. Some of it is very, I feel, it comes from a lot of everyone's their own wounding. Do you know what I mean? So it's not. So I just really want to express that I feel that pain as a woman and as a mother. So just from a therapeutic point of view, if it's okay, I just want to address the prompt. Can you forgive someone for cheating? Yes, you actually can. Now, a lot of the people that come in, beautiful couples that come in, they come in with hope, you know, and the reason why we need to really address this from a different perspective from what's being sort of played out in the room is because we're dealing with betrayal, okay? And I've noticed a bit of insensitivity because betrayal doesn't just, it's not about, oh, you slept with another man and you don't love me and then, you know, I'm a lesser person or something of that sort of mythology. We're talking about how this really ruptures and wounds everything, because we're talking about couples that come in that have built futures together. They've built beautiful, you know, families, children. Their financial situation is together. They're creating together. So when you're dealing with cheating, we're going really deep, deep into their stories. And so what we're also dealing with is we're dealing with the roots of all this abandonment stuff, unworthiness, and sometimes there can be control issues like cultural, societal, it can be religious, whatever it is, right? And these insecurities and fears. So there's a lot that goes on. So I just want to kind of come up here and say that my perspective from my own personal experience and also learning from beautiful couples that come in with this hope is that once you're able to really truly meet one another from a different perspective, so what that means is what we actually do is we begin with the betrayal, the hurt. And so that cannot go away. It cannot be misread and it cannot be deciphered or broken down. That's the first thing. Melanie, the insensitivity that is coming from your heart would really hurt a lot of people because relationships are very deep. They're so about evolving as human beings. And if we say men are just this and just that, it's very offensive to a lot of men who are very devotional to their women, right? Or men that are devotional to their men in however the relationship's received. And so it is actually what we call in psychotherapy, and what you're trying to explain, I think, is that betrayal is a natural process for the masculine. Well, I don't know. That's what I'm reading, sweetheart. No, let me finish, please.
Don't cut her off.
Because
No,
as a
don't cut her off.
woman, no, as a woman, right? You know, we have to understand the sacredness in the relationship. And so I think what you're trying to say is what we go into, and it's called intergenerational transmission. So that basically means that we have to go into the core of the pain that's occurring. So with men, for example, if I have a man saying, well, it's just my nature, you know, I'm promiscuous by nature, so therefore it gives me an entitlement. And so therefore a woman's perspective has to come from compassion, understanding, acceptance. Well, I'm sorry, but that just carries on some kind of generational trauma stuff. And so there are a lot of men that really find that offensive, okay, because they actually are devotional. They don't want to sleep with other women. And in actual fact, a lot of men that do choose that, they come from what we call generational trauma wounding. Okay, it's not because they're naturally there's a natural predisposition to sleeping with another woman and they can't help themselves. Okay, that's not true, because the fact that you're sharing that, right, is also condoning the behavior and carrying on the lineage of trauma. Men have great responsibility in their lives. They carry so much pain and suffering because they don't know how to express it a lot of the time. So in their relationships, it's their sacred space. That's their time and energy to really shine. So when a man is moving outside, no, when a man is moving outside of that beautiful foundation, right? When they're moving outside of that beautiful foundation, it's not because it's a genetic makeup of like, oh, it's just a predisposition. That doesn't make sense, because a lot of the men that come in to see me chose to do that out of trauma related issues. It's never really about because they couldn't control their senses of gratification. Do you get what I mean?
Can I respond?
Well, I just wanted to share that.
Let her land.
Which is why I'm asking if I can respond to see if she's
I'll just.
So you have common sense. You will know when she's done.
to you.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Melanie. It's not with disrespect. It's just coming from an inability sometimes with a lot of people. There can be, and I'm not saying it's you specifically, but there can be an insensitivity to the deep core of that pain. We're talking about like someone actually breaking your heart here, you know? And the reason why I believe that we can heal from cheating is because a lot of the time these connections are based around a life that they've built. So a lot of the time the way that we address this healing is they don't want to give it away. They've built every ounce of their core around this person, this marriage, this family, their beautiful home, their finances, everything is their life mission in this connection. So it's not about just saying, oh, I'm just going to leave, because sometimes the value of leaving is actually not worthy to them. So that's why they come in and see someone like me, because they say, okay, how can we heal from this? You know what I mean? So I think my point in what I'm trying to share with everyone is that I hope that regardless of the severity of any kind of breakup or this kind of betrayal, that I can just share that there is a bit of hope, because you can work through it if this is something you both truly want to work together. That's it.
Okay. Oh my God, that was
Miss
beautifully.
China, can I ask a quick question for you, Miss China?
That was beautifully said. Hold on, Reg. Can
I
y'all
think
please tap the screen? He's at 11.7K, and we've been in here for a cool minute, and y'all getting some good game right now. Go on and tap that screen up for your boy, and yeah, go ahead, Reggie.
Yes, Miss China, if you don't mind sharing with us, because I know you said
She's not addressing me though. Do I not get an opportunity to respond?
I don't know if she was addressing you. I didn't know that she was that person. But I'll give you. You can go, Queen.
Thank you. Thank you. So the idea that because I choose to not be long-winded in my response insinuates that I'm stating that a man is unable to control himself is ridiculous. If I was saying that a man was unable to control himself, that's what I would have said. What I said is the fact that you guys are trying to say that a man doesn't have a natural hunter ability about him is ridiculous. Okay? You guys are trying to hold men to the same standard in which you hold a woman, and we are not equals. Okay? I never said that a man, like you guys put labels on things that people say from your own interpretation, and that's not what I said. What I said is it's in a man's natural nature. This doesn't mean he's going to act upon this. He's in control of what he's doing. What I'm saying is the way that you women think that you're in charge of policing what a man does and does not do is ridiculous, especially when you are not the provider. You are not the head, like you're not in charge. That's what I'm saying. But what he chooses to do with his body is his choice. And he shouldn't be shamed. He shouldn't have to lose his family. He shouldn't have to not be able to see his kids because you guys feel like he cheated. All of the drama that a man has to go through is ridiculous. You guys seek to condemn before you understand. That is my point.
Regiment.
So, quick question, Ms. Shekina, if I said that right, hopefully. When you talked about betrayal, would that surmise to something I said earlier in reference to when a person actually has sex outside their marriage, that there could be a betrayal that caused that to happen, caused that person to go that direction?
Kina, Miss Shekina, she might have stepped away.
Okay.
No, sorry, I'm here. Sorry, I just had myself on pause. I didn't want to interrupt anyone.
Did you hear the question?
Yeah, I did. I think the way I would answer your question is only the way that I would work, because you've got to understand everyone's very different, and all relationships and the whole, you know what I mean,
Is
like
it?
the whole makeup of those relationships are very intricate and
Let me let
delicate.
me let me simplify it so it doesn't
Yeah.
make it complex. Is it possible
Yeah. Is it possible? Can you rephrase the question again? Sorry.
that betrayal can happen before, as a cause and effect, for a person to actually have sex outside of their marriage?
Yes, it can. The reason why, part of the process of unfolding the core, to get to the core issue of the pain and the suffering that's been basically dumped in that relationship, is not actually the act itself. It's always usually discovering why that became the attraction in the first place. Do you know what I mean? So it would
Thank you.
be saying, this is why I brought up, like it can even be like parenting styles.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Like, or conditioning, it can be generational, it can be a lot of things, but it's the wounding, because we're dealing with betrayal, and betrayal can be a very difficult one. It's a very, very painful experience for any human being to go through, because what it does to the body, it says, I'm not safe. I don't feel safe. So what happens is you're looking for some sense of security. You're looking for something to fill in whatever that pain, is instilling in you. So if my partner is choosing not to sleep with me, can I use that word?
Yes, you can. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so if my partner is choosing, for whatever reasons, their personal reasons, to not share, that intimacy, that level of love with me intimately, physically, emotionally, then what happens to the wounded child is they will go into those shadow aspects. So then what's happening is there's a retaliation. So then the child goes, well, you don't love me, you don't want me, so I'm going to rebel. I'm going to show you what it feels like. And so then they will react. There's a reaction to the emotional wounding. So yeah, to answer your question, yes, I would say that I'm not saying it's an excuse, please don't get me wrong. What I'm saying is there needs to be some form of accountability for any healing to occur. You can't just say, okay, I'm attracted to very attractive, very physically attractive women. So therefore, if we choose to be together, you need to bring this to your awareness. That's a form of control. It's a form of manipulation. Instead, if I'm choosing to be monogamous, if I'm choosing to share my intimacy, my vulnerability, my trust, everything, my core,
every ounce of my being with one other person, then what we're doing is we are creating a commitment. So I trust that person with that commitment. It's like a faith, regardless of your beautiful faith, right? If I trust in God, then God rewards me with grace, with happiness, with joy, with sunshine, with the possibility that my life can feel easier with you in it. Why do I need that to be broken and shattered in every ounce of my being, right? So why would anyone choose to do that to another person? That's another question.
What are we talking about?
We're talking about commitment. We're
But
talking about betrayal.
that's not the topic. Well, y'all be going way off the topic. Like
No,
it's
no.
not.
Eric,
I was answering a question.
hold on,
got nothing
Eric.
to do with the question.
I was
Relax,
answering a
Eric.
question.
Relax. She's a professional therapist, and she's giving insight on the deeper meaning of cheating. She's still talking about cheating. Relax.
But that's not the topic.
What is the topic down there? What do it say?
Can you forgive someone for
Yes.
And
cheating?
she's talking about
Yes.
the effects of that.
Hold on. That's not the question though. That's another topic. Why people cheat? That's not the topic. That's why the chat is going upside down. Because
Well,
y'all have left the airport right now. Y'all left the airport.
I'm answering a question, actually.
I'm sorry,
No,
Eric. He was
but I've been listening. I've been listening for a while. Y'all been left that topic. Y'all
No,
been.
I was
hold on. You
We
just
haven't
got
left the topic.
Eric. You
Topics
just
do
got in
evolve. They
here.
do evolve.
We
Like,
haven't
I
left
mean,
the topic.
we
You
don't have to
just got
stick
in
to a
here.
surface level type conversation. We don't. But if if it's in depth or if we're not feeling it, then let's just say that. But
But
it's all part of the
that's an
conversation.
open-ended topic that it would never end. Once you
You know,
go up in there with the
either way, I mean,
psychiatrists,
it
with
is.
people talking about they reading books, they went to school for this and that. You don't go to school for cheating.
He's
You don't
entitled
go
to
to
his
school for
opinion,
that.
Well,
like the
can I
majority
answer
still
that?
do.
Because I actually, when I came in, I actually said I was going to address the prompt
Hey, pull
from
up.
a personal
Pull up
perspective.
when you get through.
No, but the question,
And I did answer the
the
question.
title of the question is, can
Mm.
you forgive someone for cheating?
And I
He
said,
Now,
said
yes,
yes
from
if
two
you address
different
the betrayal.
perspectives.
you can't. Listen.
Yeah, there's
Yes,
layers.
if
If
you
you don't
address the
understand
betrayal.
the deepness of it, it's okay. It
That's
doesn't
right.
negate or it
He
doesn't
should
take
just
away
jump
from
on mute.
anything you
No,
said.
because y'all on the
We're
panel,
not to
y'all on the panel, you got
we
all these
shouldn't take
women,
away
you
from
got
that.
all these women on the panel trying to tell men why they think the
Oh,
way
here
they
it
think
go.
and why they act the way they act. Like for
Yeah.
real, you can't how can all y'all sit there and tell a man how to think?
Mm.
Oh,
No,
that's
hold
oh my
on.
God.
Hold on. I have to call cap on this because this is not preface to men cheating. This is just can you forgive someone? Someone could be
No,
either a man or a woman. We're giving our perspective as women. You can give your perspective as a man. It's not geared towards a man, like a man cheating on a woman. It's either or. Like,
so
what are
can
we
you
talking about here?
answer the
Like, come
question
on,
then? Can
dig a
you
little
forgive
deeper,
can you
peel back
forgive
a
your
little bit
man?
more layers. Go,
Can you
go more in
can you
depth with
forgive
it.
your man
Okay.
for cheating?
If you
Trust me,
can't,
this
if you
man ain't got
can't
no
keep
woman at
up,
home.
just say that. If you can't keep
Can
up,
you
just say
forgive
that.
your
Girl,
man for
your
cheating?
interaction with him is all the woman he
And
gets in
she
his
and
life
her
right
right
now. He
here,
just want to
she is
argue.
a troll. She is a troll. She's been on here disrupting since she been on here. She's mad, she's angry, and it comes out in her tone. And I'm surprised because I went and looked at her profile. She only got fake pictures up there. So this is a troll y'all been arguing
Which
with for
one
the
are you
last
talking
30,
about?
40 minutes. The one at the bottom.
Can I just want to
Oh,
go
you
after
must really
Eric.
be in love with me. Aw.
After Eric
Yeah.
get
Why would
done
you
speaking, I
disrupt
want to go.
hold on. Why would you
Yeah.
disrupt the complete conversation that we were having just to make no point at all? You could have waited your turn to speak for all of that. You disrupted the
Because
whole
I was
thing.
Horny.
falling
You know,
asleep listening to all
a
this.
woman's voice might make a man horny. He's probably
No,
just horny
I
and he
was
can just
falling
help
asleep
himself.
listening to this. It was going nowhere. This
What
whole
would you
topic
like to
y'all was
add to
doing
the
was going
conversation,
nowhere.
Eric? Since you
Huh?
need to say something, what did you need to add to the conversation?
Now we get back on topic. Let me see. Can you forgive someone for cheating? Yes, I can.
Damn.
Oh, honey.
Point blank, yes, I can.
Is that it, Eric? Because I want to go after you.
That's it. I'm landing my plane off
I
there.
wanna share a story with y'all that actually happened with a married couple that I know. First I'm gonna say this: I can't control what a man wants. I can't really control what a man say, but I can control what I accept as a woman and where I go. I can say that. Second of all, just for the record, Miss London not trying to marry nobody. And I already said this several times on this panel. I'm not thinking about marrying no man. And the host can testify to that. Host, you know I don't really care about men like that. But outside of that, don't be laughing. You know I ain't hell bent on marrying no man. I'm focusing on my bag and my education. Thank you.
That Rolls Royce. Is that right?
That Rolls Royce, baby. I was trying to get that Rolls Royce. But wait a minute. This couple that I knew, y'all, that they were married. The husband cheated on the wife, okay? And he was supposed to have another woman pregnant. And come to find out, the woman he was messing around with, she had been messing around with other dudes, and the baby turned out not to be his. But he had went back and told his wife. And while it take a woman can be pregnant for 8, 9, 10 months. During the time that they were waiting, for him to get tested and stuff, the wife wound up getting pregnant. She cheated on him, and she got pregnant. And she found out when she was pregnant that the baby wasn't his. And the husband still wanted the marriage. The wife didn't want him no more. The wife ain't want to have nothing to do with him. It seemed like she wanted to go on with the new man that she cheated with. But he still wanted to work on his family. He was really trying to get her back. And when I tell you, I looked at this man completely different, because a lot of men always say, oh, well, if a woman cheat on me, I'm just gone. She can forget about it. A lot of men like to say that, well, if you do this to me, I just leave. That's how they are. But that man still wanted his marriage because he realized and accepted the fact that he was the one who caused the disturbance in his marriage by stepping out on his wife first. His wife wouldn't have ever cheated on him if he didn't cheat on her. And I think that he really accepted that. He was in love with his wife. They had known each other since they were teenagers. Just like that guy was up here saying that he was really in love with the woman that cheated on him. And he worked to get his wife back. He really did. And she allowed him back around, but it wasn't easy. But when I tell you, I had a new level of respect for that man, because not a lot of men are going to say, okay, I messed up my marriage. I cheated on my wife first. I know if I wouldn't have did that, my wife wouldn't have stepped out on me. I caused my wife to do all that. A lot of men just don't fess up and say that. They don't think about me. You disrespecting me, my manhood. But not looking at your marriage as a whole. What did you do to your wife? So men, some of these fellas, like that guy was saying, some of these fellas, they will still stay and forgive their wife. And I've seen it done multiple times, honey, because I know a lot of married couples. And I know some men that they divorced now, but they were married and their wife cheated on them and they stayed. So men would do it too. I just wanted to put that out there.